talking to the keys? I don't know.
Hello, everybody. Eating ice cream, so typing badly, so maybe typing one-handed. I don't know. Hi, Chipper. Hi, Poser. Thank you guys for showing up. And for anyone else who I'm not seeing in the chat, welcome back to our weekly D&D game. This is our weekly session of the Glassbreakers Guild. We are short a Kyrie this evening, but we have everyone else around the table, so yay! And we are so glad that you are here to join along with us. Just a few quick reminders as we get started. As always, all of the videos do go up onto our YouTube channel. It's not a custom URL at the moment, but you can go check it out. Go to YouTube. Search for Casual Cactus, that's casual with a C, cactus with a K, and you can find all of our back video content that we have created. We've been streaming for quite a while. There are several full campaigns. A couple of them are a little bit shorter than the others, but they're full campaigns. Thank you.
Where's my phone?
And we've also got some one-shots and some other series that we do, notably Cover Your Assets, which we haven't done in a while. We need to get back to, where we create custom content. But there's a lot of stuff there. You can check it out, see kind of who we are, how we play, whether you like how we do what we do and what we do. It's all right there on YouTube, so go check that out. While you're there, do hit the like and subscribe, ring the little bell icon, and you will always know when we put new content up. I have it on good authority. We are caught up as of today, so as soon as this one is done, it will go up as well. Those videos are always there for you guys to go back to, even once the VODs are no longer available on Twitch. In addition to our YouTube channel, we do run a Discord server. It is the place where we do most of our announcements about what the schedule is going to be. I know there have been a couple of times here recently where, for one reason or another, we've had to alter our weekly schedule. Those announcements do typically get put up on Discord, so you can also ask us questions. You've got areas where we can share art, or you can share art. We'll share art, photos, writing, music, all kinds of fun stuff. It's a good place to just sort of come and hang out and interact and be artsy and nerdy and all kinds of fun stuff. In addition to information about this channel, you will also see a lot of information and notifications from Kyrie for her creative streaming. She's streaming several times a week, lots of cool fun stuff. So you can also check her out as Griffin XX Demon. And I think she was going to be in the chat. I haven't seen if she's been here yet or not. She wasn't able to be here tonight, but we're looking for her in the chat, so watch out for that. I think that is all I have as far as announcements go. Anybody have any other announcements that need to get made real quick? No?
Nah.
I don't do anything anymore.
All right.
I just show up.
In that case,
I guess, should we announce Braden's thing on TikTok?
Oh, yes. Braden.
Don't do that. I haven't done anything in a while.
Oh, but what he has done has been pretty fabulous.
Sure. As a little passion project, a couple months ago, I started posting clips of our some of our past games, some moments that we've greatly enjoyed and all that, and you can find it on TikTok. If you look up the Glassbreakers Guild on TikTok, you can find maybe around 30 plus clips from our previous games of times we've laughed, cool things that have happened, so forth and so on. So go check that out if you get a chance. I think everyone has a favorite, so. And I need to get back into that, but kind of ran out of content without spamming just straight me.
I understand. I know how you feel. All right. So who would like to give us a recap of what happened last week?
I can.
All right.
It's so
Danny, go
pretty.
for it.
I'm distracted by shiny things. Okay.
Danny,
In true Danny form.
Danny, your scritch is showing.
Yes, a little bit. So, apparently Mal and company stole the horses we were going to take, so we be walking out. We walk a lot. We argue about who watches Zoigan. We find out that Volk hoards liquor instead of gear. We find out that Dwarven whiskey what Dwarven whiskey tastes like. Simi stops a dirty card game and finds that the accuser was actually cheating, and the accused has not that kind of dirty card game.
I was legitimately
What it could be that kind of
confused.
dirty
Yeah.
card
Like
game.
you walk in on strip poker.
The accuser was cheating, and the accused has some unnatural luck that he doesn't believe comes from the Empress. Simi has deciphered. Castian tries to get Lars drunk to divulge his super secret evildoer plan, but fails. All the notes were passed. I still don't know what any of those notes are, so I can't speak to that. I think the General and Lars have a little something happening in the background. That is a personal note. Yep.
They're playing dirty cards.
I kind of feel like that's very possible, yes.
They're playing dirty cards.
Yeah, I feel
Winky
like that's a
face.
thing.
There's a quote for you.
There were weird cast hugs. Milo punched dinner as Lars threatened to off Simi in the night.
Was that was a thing? I forgot about
Was a
that.
thing. The next day, Lars plays the give a shit card with Mizu.
I forgot I made that quote.
But then Lars gets a burr up his behind when Mizu tells him that he doesn't have the same business background that she does. Incidentally, and I'm sure this is a coincidence, the next day Lars sticks us in the head of the group, and Simi knows that we're being set up for something. So she runs ahead to scout, finding a heckin' lot of kobold footprints.
A lot of.
Yes.
It's a technical term.
It is. On the way back, she blows up in a plume of flame. The others come to help, finding that she was circled by spellcasting kobolds. Volk goes kobold golfing. Once that is resolved, we find ourselves as the ice cream in the middle of a kobold murder sandwich.
Kobold Myrtle.
Myrtle.
Kobold Myrtle sandwich.
Kobold murder sandwich. There we go. That's what I was going for.
So, does anyone have anything else they want to add to that very lovely synopsis?
There were lots of notes that were passed, but I didn't see any of them, so I have no idea what they said other than something involved.
I think it was basically
maybe that
just
wasn't a note that was passed.
notes were. I think just as a synopsis.
Oh, no,
I won't
that
go
was-
through all of them, but
Right.
notes were passed just to inform certain bunch of people in the group that Killian has made contact and.
Oh, is that what the notes said?
Information? Yeah. Well, not in a lot more flavor.
Wait.
Feathery.
So who all in the group was told that had happened? Because not everyone in the group knows that.
I don't know that. I think Misa's the only one who knows.
Oh, good.
Okay.
All right.
Mizu is the only one that knows that.
Killian
has started messaging you.
And she's not here today. This will be good.
That'll be fun. That's for sure.
Always is.
So here we go. On with the show. Don't mind us. We're just laughing about whether you can hear us under the stinger or not.
I hope they can.
All right. So you guys have managed to rescue Simi from the predicament she found herself in when she
Oh, good.
wandered off to scout.
Nope.
But you now find yourself, as so eloquently put, as the ice cream of a kobold murder sandwich.
Indeed.
I have a question.
Yes.
Has Cabbage been here the whole time, or is Cabbage coming with the other members of the party that aren't here yet?
Yes, please.
Because this will affect some things.
Yeah.
I don't know. Would you have gone with the dwarves, or would you have?
Well, or she might have stayed in town, and then Mal could have picked her up on his way back. Like,
It's all up to the DM's discretion.
I just want to know where is Cabbage in all of this.
Odds or evens?
Odds.
You have been with the party the whole time.
Oh,
You've just stealthed that good.
You've just been that stealthy.
You rolled a
and that-
32 and stuffed your way out of the campaign.
So we've been at the head of 2/3 of the garrison.
So about roughly 700 soldiers.
Headed towards the Dwarven city, in case you didn't
Yeah.
catch that.
Purportedly headed towards the
Reportedly.
Dwarven
Yeah,
city.
I mean that is where they're headed,
And
as far as we have been
nothing
told.
interesting has happened until just barely where Simi was out scouting because she thought it was weird that we were being left alone at the front.
I didn't think I knew.
And then she ran into a trap and got caught up in fire, and we all ran to her rescue and killed a bunch of kobolds, and then discovered that there's
There's a lot more.
like thousands on
lot
either
more.
side, and we see the army like getting in ranks to fight them off or something.
So the garrison is going to be fighting kobolds?
So
yes.
yeah, like
Yeah,
if I
they were.
recall, the garrison is on the road.
Okay.
When we come over a ridge after we rescue Simi, the garrison is on the road, and they are forming ranks facing both sides of the
Was
road.
it both sides or
and-
just the one side? Because I didn't
They
think
were
they had
facing
seen
away
the other
from
side.
us.
Make a perception check. Those of you who are actually there. So,
I don't know if that's me or not.
Scheiße! 5.
Because I was on horseback.
you
It
were on
helps if I
horseback.
actually have my sheet visible, huh?
Oh, there's ink here, but did
For
I pop
dramatic
ink here?
flares.
I think I popped
Make
ink here.
me-
That is.
Is it
Well,
21?
I did. I don't know if you remember, but I did message you last week or whenever you guys played. I don't actually remember when that was
2
anymore.
weeks now, I think.
2 weeks.
It could be possible that when I rode up, I got accosted by the garrison because I was headed to go see Mizu, and that's not allowed or whatever because I'm just some dwarf on a horse.
Some dwarf on a horse.
I'm a dwarf on a
Which
horse.
in and of itself
I
is
feel like
is
that needs
impressive.
to be a song.
Just a
You
dwarf
have, like,
I'll work
boxes
on it.
strapped
I'll work
to
on
the
it.
bottom of your
That'd be
feet
great.
so you can reach down to the
No,
stirrups.
I
Do
just
you want
like,
it as a ballard, or do you want
cinch
it
them
as
covered
a
over. I cinched it all the way
Cin-
up.
Ballad.
Cinched them all the way up.
you want
The
it
next
as a
dig hole.
folk song, sea shanty?
Folk song.
These
Ro-
sound
roll
like a
me-
folk song.
Folk song!
Boo.
You don't get to boo anybody's jokes.
That's true.
Roll me a percentile dice.
Ooh.
2 dice that never get used
Yeah.
very often.
33.
33. Okay. All right. So yeah, you're not there yet, but we'll work you in at an appropriate moment. It will not be deep into this
So,
thing.
Either the army was aware that they were being attacked from both sides. Either way, we definitely heard
yes.
the noise of 2 armies.
You guys
coming.
are-
I just
you
don't
guys
know
are-
for sure that the garrison knew.
You guys are aware. So who all was rolling your perception? So
19.
19.
Volk doesn't care.
Volt doesn't care.
I had rolled really well last time, but a 5.
5 this time.
21.
21.
18.
18.
I
Okay.
don't think did I have popped out ink here? Or I don't
So
think I did. Okay.
no, because you had him hidden because of the army.
Yeah.
All right. So for everyone but Volk and Milo.
I got a lot on my mind.
Yes, you do. It does appear as though the army is forming ranks for both sides. However, one of the ranks, one of the directions they're facing looks lackadaisical almost. It's like, yeah, it's like they're making a big show of defending from that side, but they're not really.
Interesting.
Are all of the townsfolk on one side
Yeah,
and
I
all
was
of the
about to
garrison on the
ask.
other?
How many would you say? Not that I can see, but for those who can't, how many would you say are within this like small little group who are just kind of just nonchalantly taking ranks?
So it does appear as though the army is divided roughly into thirds. So there's a third on one. There's a third facing south. There's a third facing north, which is the direction you guys are coming in from. And then there's a third that looks like it's forming up as reserve for whatever is needed, whichever one of the sides is needed, needing the reinforcements during the battle.
And which side doesn't give a care?
The north side, the one that you guys are coming in from.
Need to attack.
We don't.
Yeah, all Volk is concerned with is there's about to be a lot of fighting.
Yep.
And this has been a very boring trip up to this point.
So the general and my brother
Right.
stopped. Would they be around the middle by the time this is going on?
So yeah, they are kind of they have rejoined the army and they are in the middle.
No, but what I'm saying by if the rankings had kept going by the time the attack started with their little where they had stopped, would that be around where the middle was?
Yeah, roughly, yeah.
Okay.
Just for you, Chipper.
The child.
Yes, our 7th player has arrived. Actually, 8th, don't you?
Yes.
9th, when you count
9th, yeah.
Aaron.
Oh, she doesn't
You're
show
right,
her,
is that
but
what-
yes.
So yes.
He's writing a novel.
Okay. So Aaron. Sorry. So Lars and the general are in the middle, and it looks like the general is issuing orders to the armies surrounding.
Right.
And they're just kind of blowing off the one side.
That's what it appears. Yes.
And
Huh.
we're there.
And we're not
We
right
hear
in it.
things
We're-
coming towards us.
We are in between the ranks of the army and the kobolds.
I kind of feel. I feel like they don't really care whether or not we're there. They kind of just. Like, we're not going to make a difference in this particular situation. Well, okay, Volk will.
Excuse
never
me.
mind.
Our only job is to protect Mizuki.
So we should head back to the ranks.
We should keep Mizu safe, but Mizu's with us.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So-
Our only job is to protect her.
I don't know if we have. It looks like we have a griffin in the chat.
We do have.
What is Mizuki doing? Because that might determine what the rest of us have to do.
Yeah. So let us know about that.
So yeah, do let us know, Griff, what Mizuki wants to be doing at this point, because that will sort of determine what you guys are doing. In the meantime, sort of what's everybody kind of thinking at this point?
We can either. This is me. I think we should either try to run and maybe try and survive away from the fight, or we rejoin the ranks and use the army as a buffer and kind of help them as well. But that's
I would feel really bad leaving the army to just.
Just to die for us.
Yeah, I mean, not like they're dying for us, but just to die in general. I would say if we could do things at range that would be useful, that would probably be
They are
good.
the distraction, so he can get away.
So
I'm
Griff.
not a bad person.
So Griff, we are just getting started. We're resetting the scene. There's an army of kobolds coming up behind you from when you guys saved Simi. There's an army coming up from the sounds like a kobold army coming up from the south side. That is closing in. The garrison army has formed ranks facing north and south, facing the two kobold armies, with a third rank in the middle as sort of the reserves. And that's what we're kind of working from.
I imagine Mizu would go back to
The fight hasn't started yet, but it is definitely on
About
its
to
way.
happen.
Pushing in front of the kobolds.
Who?
I accidentally push Lars in front of the kobolds.
Whoops! I mean, I
Behind
considered
them,
that,
yeah.
but I'd have to wade my way through an entire army to get
so
to it.
Volk is not bringing up these options because Volk is just excited that we might fight things. But it does look like we can either join the ranks of the army and try and see if they win, or if I am reading the situation right, it sounds like we've got the army in the middle of the road and two groups of
Yeah.
kobolds collapsing. In theory, if we were over at the head.
We could shoot out.
Yeah,
ahead.
so in theory, we could keep trying to move down the road and potentially get out of the circle of death before the kobolds collapse on the army.
And then
I like that idea.
That,
And then
like,
just wait
theoretically,
for-
we have enough time to do that. I assume. If we moved
Do
real
we need to
fast, we
find
might be able to
Lars
like
first?
Well,
get outside of the main body of the fight.
yeah, so
Or
Griffin.
Theoretically, you could, but it sounds as though Mizuki wants to find Lars first.
That's fair.
Well,
And
she says we would have to find Lars first.
Yes.
Also, Griffin, we have no idea how many kobolds. That is
A lot.
a lot.
It's
Some number
a
over
lot.
1.
I am guessing more
Enough
than
that they are
700.
confident to
Yeah.
take on an army.
What was
talking
that
thousand-ish.
number of kobolds before?
If we want to
24,000
sacrifice
or something?
It was like
Yeah,
14.
Kiri.
Yeah, no,
Thousand
I might be on that boat.
Yeah,
I
like-
might be on that boat.
Just the Earth ones.
Your real easy way to get rid of your fiance.
Yep.
Oops.
Oh dang! Look at that. There's a murder death that just happened.
Uh-oh.
I mean, if things go bad for the garrison, it might be enough chaos nobody'd even notice.
exactly.
That would depend. Yeah, that depends on what we want to do.
So Volk at this point is kind of like still
got his
bouncing from foot to foot, like, all right, what are we doing? Someone hurry up and make a decision.
I'll have my shield out, even though I can't use it yet. Maybe just for some blocking potential, although I'm not proficient in it. But just just like, and the dagger in the other hand, because I can't exactly.
Because you're out of spell slots.
I have no more spell slots. I have cantrips, but if we decide to hook it back the other way, I can't be throwing spells out in front of the entire
Yep.
Imperial army.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that.
Yep.
Why don't they just
No magic.
accident?
Given the number
You have
of
to do it at point blank range.
given the number of spellcasters we
Well, I
have,
have
kind of feel
primeval.
like
I
maybe
have
we should shoot up.
primal savagery, which I have
We actually-
in the past gotten away with it.
As
but-
of right now, we only have two
Two.
spellcasters.
But that's
which
a-
is
that's
Rogue.
three if you count Mizu.
I'm counting Mizu.
Yeah.
I barely count.
Rogue, monk, fighter, rogue, warlock, cleric.
Why did I think you had more magic?
Because he always uses create bonfire.
bonfire.
I got one thing, and I'm good at
He
it.
is a one.
So, like, if we were to get in a fight other than the warlock who has no spell slots, I think
Left.
even
Because
Mizu
yeah,
as a
because
cleric
I
could hold her own
snowballed
with just her
the
weapons.
yeah, because I had snowballed the
Mizu would probably realize that maybe we should not be in the middle of an army. That's fair. So I guess we're shooting ahead.
shooting ahead. All right.
I don't care. I just want someone to make a decision
Yeah.
so we can do something.
I'm just
Yeah.
gonna tell everybody, like, be on the ready in case we need to double back. Let's get ahead of this, and I'm just gonna start shooting.
All right.
I'll pop
Shooting
Inger out and then
past.
start
How many hit points
heading
do the boys
in
have?
a direction where hopefully, if we get
6.
lucky, we can get beyond the army before
Okay.
they converge
How
on.
many hit points
They're-
does Loise's
cool.
horse have?
Probably 6. Oh, it's
Oh.
a warhorse though.
Okay, so since you guys seem to have reached the consensus
We're running.
that you're running, I would like for each of you, so we're going to treat this as sort of a group group challenge. So each of you need to pick something that you're proficient with and tell me, pick a skill you're proficient with, tell me, describe for me what you're doing to help the group extricate yourself from between these two armies of kobolds.
I'm gonna help be sneaky
Okay,
with stealth.
okay.
No. No.
I'd like some more detail as to this. How's this gonna work?
Are you gonna do like Lady?
How are
like
you
in
using your
101
stealth
Dalmatians, the animation
for
where
the
he just like
group?
brushes like the tracks from the road?
So how are you using your stealth for the group?
I'm going to give everybody tips on how to be sneaky. I don't know. I feel like there is a way to do this, and I'm not. There's ways.
Directing people so they're not like stepping on
Yeah,
branches.
directing. That's a better word.
Okay,
I am directing.
Griff will do survival. with the
cool.
sneaky.
I can
Holding
I
back
can accept
branches
that.
so it doesn't make
Yeah.
noise.
Simi, what are you doing?
Well, it doesn't matter because I fail at it, but I was going to try and insight to figure out like what the different groups were doing, how the chess game was going to work, so that I could
Okay. Analyze the strategy.
Yeah,
Okay.
I totally. Even though I have a +6, that's totally an 8.
Okay, so
So-
we'll worry about results in a second, but we'll count that. We already know you guys have one failure.
Come back to me.
Okay.
Yes.
Which skill are you using, and how are you using it?
Perception.
Okay.
Okay, and as a mastermind, I'm gonna be pointing out different things to watch out for as she's directing.
Okay. Excellent. Oh, you're not there. And Volk.
Volk is going to use his athletics, so he's going to try and position himself, because we can hear this big group of kobolds coming.
Uh-huh.
Volk's going to try and position himself further out from the group to sort of, if any kobolds come across our path, he will be the first one to run into them so that he can start cutting our way through and create an opening for the rest of the group.
Not sure that would be athletics.
What would it be instead? I wasn't sure what that would be other than athletics to get ahead of the group.
Climb a tree and watch.
That would be. I mean, if you're trying to get ahead and position yourself.
His big thing is he wants to be where, like, in between the group who's all trying to run away and the most likely approach of
Okay.
the kobolds, so that if they show up, he can either cut through them or, like, fight a rear guard action while everybody else moves out.
Okay, so for me, that would be either your perception or your survival, depending upon which one you were proficient with.
Okay, we'll use perception, and that will be 23.
Okay, 23, so that's a success.
I net 20.
That's a success. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. We forgot about Milo. What
What
is
are you
Milo
gonna do,
doing?
Milo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Acrobatics
Going off their
and
reservation on
somebody.
this one. Should any kobold see us and begin to give chase, I will yell back at them in Draconic and I will intimidate them to go back.
Sweet.
Excellent.
That's a pretty cool.
That's a good one.
I only have 4 things I'm proficient in, 3 of which are
Alma would have already
charisma
turned
based.
himself into a kobold and tried to infiltrate
history.
the army once they fought.
All right, make your roll.
Maybe.
Come on, don't betray me.
You were the one who wanted to turn into a goblin and walk into the
He's just
goblin.
doing survival.
We were trying to steal a box. A very different from full battle.
14.
That's a failure.
So is that.
So we already
Not
know
you.
we've got a failure. For the result Russian proverb. When you find yourself at the bottom of a hole, stop digging.
That should be a quote.
You wanna try that one more time?
I feel like
So
the
was Natalie's
context
roll.
is- the
So,
context is
so Nat, what was your roll?
16.
That's a failure.
Oh no!
Just
better than
missed it. I was looking for 17.
We're
However,
gonna die, guys.
Griff
Got
rolled
a
a natural
20.
20 on her survival.
Yep.
So that gives you guys 2 successes, which is enough.
Barely.
Successes versus failures. So you guys are able to just kind of squeak by. As you're sort of clearing the space, Cabbage leads you guys down the road, and she's trying real hard to make it easy for you guys to be stealthy, and she's almost got it, but
I think
just-
we've
it's
given up.
not-
We've given up stealth for just straight running.
I mean-
Cabbage is being stealthy.
nobody else is. I
Stealthy.
mean, Milo at one point turns around and yells at the kobolds.
In
So there
something-
goes the stealth
something in
right there.
Draconic.
And he yells something that you're just not gonna understand. It's sort of guttural and sharp, and oof, it's nasty. And so but she does lead you guys down the road a ways, out from the encircling kobolds and finds a place for you guys to get off the main road. She finds... so Cabbage, you're able to find a spot to sort of hunker down. It's this area where one of the trees has fallen over, and brush and dead wood has sort of piled up against the root ball of this tree, and you guys are able to sort of squeeze yourself into this mass of wood and hide as the
Gosh dang it, poser.
Yep,
Cool.
for sure.
I like it.
So as you guys are getting settled, the sort of flank of the northern kobold army sweeps by you guys, chittering in their little voices.
Chitter, 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 chitter.
You are hearing sort of the... It almost seems... It almost sounds like what you would expect of, like, the an army pep talk, the sergeants or whatever, controlling these divisions are, pepping their troops up and driving them forward and making sure that they're doing what they're doing.
Okay. Do you guys want me to do some reconnaissance real quick? See how the battle's going?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Probably not a
I
good
will
idea.
go into Ingir and I will have him just fly up and AC 130 above, just like scanning.
That is not what that means, Brayden.
No.
UAV.
There you go.
Not AC. I don't have a spell to do AC 130, unfortunately.
Yeah, no.
So
It's like meteor.
Not equivalent.
Yeah, not...
I have dragon's breath.
not
That's
Oh,
exactly.
I suddenly miss hemorrhoid. Just cast dragon's breath on the rat. It's fine.
Okay.
The airplanes that have a minigun
Yeah.
and all the ordnance that blow things up when they
Yeah.
arrive.
Sorry, I get those two confused.
Okay, I was just imagining.
I need you to drop an AC 130 on our position. You mean UAV? It's like whichever one allows us to know what the enemy position is.
It's just flying, hitting kobolds on the head as he flies by.
Anyway.
Yeah. Okay,
Oh,
so...
my beer.
Oh, yes. Make me...
Oh, good. He has better stats than I.
Make me a perception... First of all, how high is he getting? And how much of an overview does he want? Do you want him to have?
As much overview as he can, but within 100 feet of me, so I can see through him.
Okay. Probably gonna mostly be straight up then, yeah?
Probably.
Okay. In that case, make me a perception check using Ingir's perception.
Okay. He has advantage to these, so that's good.
Okay.
Oh, 22. Nice.
22. Okay.
It's a good thing you have advantage.
Good thing he's better at perception than I am.
Okay. So Ingir goes up and you sort of make yourself comfortable and you pop into his eyes and the sight, you're able to sort of peer down between the trees and get a sense of the overview of how this battle is starting to unfold. The Northern Army seems to be the ones comprised primarily of fire kobolds. So the ones that you guys tangled with earlier in the day. As they're rushing forward, they get within, they get almost within bowshot of the northern line, and then the whole line of kobolds splits left and right and flanks around the army.
Dividing to party?
Those of you on the ground, the stream of
I'm sure I'm just like.
yeah, those of you on the
I'm
ground,
not
the
going to even try to. draw
stream of
this.
kobolds
Keep changing.
sort of peters out for a second, and then there's this whole flood of them just all around you. It's a miracle they don't like wander into your hiding spot, and they flank around the human army and pincher on either side of the other kobolds. From what Ingir can see, because they are a good ways off, you are looking at a fairly large battlefield after all, and
course.
you're not wanting him to go too far.
Yeah.
But from what you can see, the other kobold army appears to be more the earth stone kobolds.
Okay.
Those kobolds sort of crash into the front lines of the human army, the stronger defensive position, and they're getting held up. The humans hold, just barely, but they are able to hold, and it breaks their charge. They're just sort of pulling back to regroup when the other kobold army falls on them from the sides and the rear. It is at that point that the human center, the human reserves, are committed to the front, and between the three sides, they start wailing into the stone kobolds.
Okay. I relay this all to everyone as I see it.
So, Agarai and Zoigan are with us?
I don't know, Danny.
No.
Where'd you leave your NPCs?
Dang it.
It's hard to keep track of NPCs, isn't it? 6 kids, 4 trainers.
You did that
You
to
did that to
yourself.
yourself.
I'm just,
You could have.
they get
Stevie
lost
just woke
somewhere.
up with a God in her bed. She did not intend for that to happen.
Yeah, but you didn't have to bring him along like a pet dog.
What else was I supposed to do with him?
Leave him and let him meditate on his own poor life decisions.
Let him be an adult and make his own choices.
I
Crap.
mean, he made those choices. He just sucked.
Can I get a shot? Can I ask him through Igor's eyes?
I can't hear you.
Oh yeah, that's right. Can I see if I can get a
Punch him in the face, I'll get stitched.
spot kind of?
Okay, before you do this, let me get this straight. You would like to leave our hiding place, as all these kobolds have rushed by, to try and go back to the army to pick out 2 individuals from the sea
I just want
of
to
people.
see if I can see them.
You would-
I have not committed to any action.
You can tap on
yet
my
other
shoulder
than
if
just,
you
like,
want. You can see if
trying
you
to
can
see.
break me out.
Might be easier than punching him in the face.
But less fun.
Yeah, can I
We would
see
have-
where they are?
From where you are now, no.
Okay. Dang it.
Should get a leash.
I really ought to. I'm just gonna.
I'll look for the specific people. I'll look for.
Okay, so who are you looking for specifically?
We'll start with Lars first.
Okay.
I assume he's probably in the middle.
Lars is there. He is in the center. He is surrounded by soldiers that, given your history, you recognize as bodyguards. So they are there, making sure that nothing is going to get through the lines to
Dragon breath is
him.
bread.
Right there with him is the general. So right there beside him is the general, and the two of them are occasionally sort of leaning together and conversing, consulting, sort of figuring out how the battle is going. Messengers are coming in from sort of the different areas of the battlefield and reporting to the general, who is then reporting to Lars.
Oh.
I would like to ask Mizu to send to Akarai and check and see. We'll tell him kind of that we are off the track and try and keep Zoigan safe.
Okay.
Protect my god.
Haven't even gotten him reascended yet. Come on. Going to become the god. He doesn't want the job.
You haven't asked him if he wants to retake that job.
No,
yet.
we did ask him.
And
He said he
was
didn't know.
pretty non-committal. Yeah, but as far as Simi's concerned, she's just still trying to get him back in that.
Based on the
that
discussions
spot.
I've had with these gods, it doesn't sound like it's all that great a job.
Okay, so Mizuki is going to try and do that. You've spent enough time with both of those men, Mizuki, that sending to one or both of them or either of them is not hard. So you are able to convey that message. Okay.
Okay.
10 minutes have gone by.
So were you looking for anybody else, or were those did that cover mainly?
I mean, to be fair, that's the only people I care about.
Okay.
He's the only one I care about at the moment, unfortunately.
Okay.
But 10 minutes have passed. How's the battle going?
10 minutes.
I'm gonna take a guess that the humans and the fire kobolds are winning.
Now are the fire kobolds also attacking the army?
No.
No.
Oh, I missed that part.
Yeah,
I
they
missed
charged
that
down
part.
and then split around them and flanked the stone kobolds and crashed into them.
Okay.
So
okay.
I think Lars is gonna win this one.
Okay. Well, I know where the fire guy is. How far?
Roll me a d6.
D6, huh?
Nice.
1.
Yeah, it's not looking good for the stone kobolds. They are
Stone kobolds, or for the fire?
No, the stone
okay.
kobolds.
the stone
Just making
kobolds.
sure.
The ones who are getting just.
They are getting pounded. They're doing their best. There are spellcasters among them who are just tearing up the battlefield, left, right, and center, and flinging stones, small stones, at their fire counterparts.
Mm-hmm.
But the fire kobolds are also answering with their own fireballs and fire magics, just pounding into the stone kobolds. So at the moment, it is not looking good for them.
I relay back.
Fights everybody.
Mal,
Roll
roll me your percentile. Do the same for Killian.
Dear. Oh dear.
83.
Oh man.
83? Okay.
Oh, 96.
Okay.
You avoid 96 of each of the armies.
Which version of the...
Whichever would have been closest.
Actually, Killian doesn't know about the fire kobolds yet. So he would have been tracking the stone kobolds.
So he doesn't know about, but he does know that there's more than one tribe, and
Right.
he would have just sort of asked the deities, like, where is the nearest gathering of kobolds? I would like to have a word with them. So whatever was closest,
Okay.
that is presumably where he was headed. He has no idea what's going on, though.
Okay. So
With comprehend languages, he does.
that lets you understand it, doesn't it? Not
And be
speak-
understood.
And be understood. Okay, cool. I
No.
wanted to be sure.
No, comprehend languages is not a verbal
It's
spell.
tongues that you're thinking of that lets them understand.
Yeah.
Comprehend
languages, you can read any language.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what Alma had, so
Yeah.
he couldn't speak back.
Let me check
Comprehend
that.
languages only allows you to
Last
read.
time we talked with the kobolds, I had a spell that let me talk to them. I thought it was comprehend languages, but let me look up exactly what it was then.
Okay. While you're doing that, you are coming up on this battle from the direction that the stone kobolds were coming,
Okay.
which means you are still outside the encirclement of the fire kobolds, but you are coming up on it from the south side, and you are seeing kobolds versus kobolds
Mm-hmm.
with a human army at the far end.
Can Ingir see
No.
Or
No.
might not recognize it.
No.
Okay. You guys are not gonna believe this. There's this weird
So-
guy like charging the bag.
Are the humans? Killian's gonna. So these humans are just up there.
Well, no. Make a perception check.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Mal, you are riding along and you're starting to hear sounds of battle, and there's dust flying in the air, and every so often through the trees you're catching flashes of fire and hearing sort of the peals of thunder and the sound of rock and stone on stone.
Can you point to where we are on the map? Oh, we're in the middle of the. Okay.
Right there.
Yeah.
Is there any kind of high ground anywhere that I can get a better view?
Okay.
Not especially. You are in
Climb a tree.
you are in a forest, so the road itself is the
I'd love to
clearest
see Mal climb
area.
a tree.
And there's not a lot of underbrush, but there's underbrush sort of on both sides, so it's really kind of hard to see anything that's not on the
Alright.
road itself.
Well, he will then keep riding until he can see. He'll go ahead and draw his longbow.
Okay. All right. Well, we will come back to both of those characters. For the rest of you, what's what? You were asking. What were you asking?
I was asking if I could see any of these two, but no,
Yeah.
I doubt it.
No. Anybody else doing anything while the battle
I
is
think we're just
unfolding?
hunkering down,
I
right?
think we're just hiding out till it's
Yeah.
done.
Okay.
Am I seeing any people that are hurt that are within range that I could run up and drag them to safety or
So
anything
from
like that?
where you guys are, you are not none of you
We
is
can't
seeing
see.
anything except
Yeah.
I would
through
assume we
Ingir's
tried to get
eyes.
far enough away that while if the armies all
We're
collapsed on the garrison, we would be beyond
We're like
their
300
back
feet from the
ranks.
back line of one of them, something like that.
At least,
At least,
yes.
Just start
And
throwing
you're
rocks at the
you
back
are
of their
also
heads.
hunkering. You're also hunkering in sort of a hollow inside, sort of this root ball of trees and wood.
Where the hobbits hid from the Nazgul.
Yeah.
Yeah, essentially.
Just all of us just backed into a
And
corner.
now I'm just
and I was
imagining 100
Yeah.
kobolds, and we're just.
That'd be cool art.
Nate,
Yo.
roll me a d6.
D6.
Roll me a d6.
2.
Okay.
Oh, we're
So at this point in the battle, when it really looks like the stone kobolds are getting routed, there is a push from within the circle, and then there are, weirdly enough, to Ingir, it looks like there are spots sort of outside the fire circle that start to sort of suck in and cave in, where the ground just sort of starts to fall in on itself.
Oh no.
So Killian, you will see, and Ingir will see
boy.
from these sort of hollow spots, stone kobold reinforcements pop up out of the ground.
I thought you were gonna say purple worm.
and crash into the rear of
man.
not only the fire kobolds, but also the human lines now. So where the human lines were, where they had put up a weak defense and had then dispensed with that defense, there is now a battle opening up.
So, Killian is trying to tell, are the red kobolds and the humans were they... Looks like they're fighting together.
I had you roll that
Yeah,
perception.
18.
Yeah. Yes. So the red kobolds seem to be fighting with the humans against the sort of grayer, browner kobolds.
How outnumbered do?
Yes, Griff, this is a battle of 3 armies at this point.
Yeah.
How outnumbered do the humans look?
Before the reinforcements showed up, not at all. But with the reinforcements, it's swung the other direction, and they're on the short end of things now.
I will inform the hunker downers of what is going on.
The hunker downers,
Just
I
let
love it.
them fight out.
Killian's gonna try and make his way in towards the human army. And
Okay.
if that means he has to start trying to... He's going to try and avoid having to engage with either group of kobolds if he can just sort of weave in past them, but if he has to, he will fight the stone kobolds.
So
not the
you
fire
are
kobolds.
still outside both circles. So you will need to either circle around one side or the other to try, because the human army is on the far side.
Whichever side seems like it has the best cover.
I mean, it's a forest, so it's all kind of got pretty good cover. I mean, because the ground has been sort of underdug under these trees, there are certain spots where trees are starting to come down. Probably if you circle around to the west, to the left side, you might have a little bit more
Okay.
cover.
Then that's what.
So that's the direction you're going to go.
On hearing that things have swung the other direction, I'm gonna look over at Volk and look back towards things.
Are
Do
we
I-
going to fight?
Is Killian heading in now? Or is he-
You
Make
get to play multiple people.
I do.
make me a perception check for Indir.
Killian is moving as stealthily as he can to avoid getting
So
seen.
it will be opposed by his stealth check.
Okay. I rolled high, but I don't know how.
Natural
how-
20.
Oh, not that high.
Then no.
I can never roll higher than you.
Killian has advantage on stealth checks with his armor.
Yeah. Well.
Jeez.
Okay.
So yeah, she's gonna.
Because I was gonna be like, you guys aren't gonna believe this. There's a guy.
So as you're just getting within sight of sort of what you can see, what you see from the road is the garrison army. And you can hear the battle sort of taking place off to your left, off to the south. And it does appear as though the human army is sort of there holding its own. You're not you can't really tell based on what you're hearing what's going on down there, but you know something's going on down there.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden there are these sort of sinkholes that start forming out around behind the army, and Mal hasn't seen kobolds.
Nope.
So you start to see these little
Lizards. Tiny lizards.
lizard men kind of things crawl out of the ground. Some of them have wings on their backs, and they start it almost looks like they are reaching down and magically pulling stones and rocks out of the ground and flinging
They're
them
earthbending.
they're earthbending into the back of the human army. And because it looks as though this part of the army was not the strongest part, you're starting to see the human bits of the army sort of cut away, and there are holes forming in the ranks now.
Do I see my friends or Lars?
You do not see your friends. Make me a perception check.
Oh no.
I'm gonna go ahead and just. I'll stick with 15. So 13.
13.
Oh yeah.
Minus
I
2.
mean, do you want
So
me to roll a stealth for Ingir?
you, yes. So go ahead.
How stealthy is your UAV mode?
Well,
Not that stealthy.
Could have been worse.
it could be better.
That's true.
I know this isn't what he looks like, but for some reason right now, the image in my head is the snake from Robin Hood when he gets drunk and he's up in the bubble and he's using his tail to just...
Yep.
Oh wow, that's a throwback.
That's so much.
14.
14. Okay. So you don't see Ingir, but you do see Lars, and you do see his general, and even from this distance, you can kind of tell that both of them now are sort of having trouble controlling their horses as they're wheeling from one front to the other because of the unexpected
Or
threat on their
I have
flanks.
another idea.
How far away are they from me?
Are you asking if they're within 300 feet?
Yeah.
They're probably just outside that.
Okay. Well, I will keep moving in then.
Jeez.
I want to be within
What are-
300 feet.
What are we doing?
I think he's about to assassinate your brother.
He's gonna
You
try.
bastard! I want to assassinate him.
So, meanwhile, we realized
Yes.
the tables have
Well,
turned.
yes,
You were going
you
to.
can go out of
Turns have
hiding.
tabled.
But who are we fighting against?
We're trying to save the human army, but
Oh.
if
Just
Lars
kidding.
dies in the middle of it,
I only need
I'm
to be
not
within 600
worried
feet.
about that.
Oh.
I'm more worried about the other people. So I look over at Volk and I'm like,
So within the woods, yeah, you'd be within 600 feet.
Cool. Then I'm going to start taking shots at Lars.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
We'll
Oh
come
boy.
back to that.
Yep.
How estimate? Pitch ballpark. Pitch me a distance between me and Lars, or the middle of this.
Braden's gonna metagame to try and do the assassination. He's just gonna come out throwing Eldritch Blast.
Oh, you think I'm walking?
oh dear.
You're probably
What?
The turns have just
After that
taken.
goes-
you're probably about 600, 650 feet away.
650.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm 10 rounds away.
So,
Yeah, she's
I'm
gonna
10 rounds
she's gonna
away.
turn to you and say, I feel like we need to defend the humans.
am I killing the red ones or the other ones?
The other ones.
All right, I'm down.
Are we using magic?
That can
no,
work.
no,
Let's
magic,
go.
Oh,
magic.
mother. Okay.
Magic users stay safe.
They could just kill each other.
Well,
They
the
could.
problem is, I'm pretty sure Lars has effectively put all of these people in a very bad position knowing what was coming. And I'm not okay with them dying because he's an asshole.
Yep.
Yep, you're not wrong.
The horse thief is trying to kill your fiance.
Yep, you're not wrong.
You don't have to.
Why-
come
why do you
with me.
keep stealing
In fact, I would
satisfaction?
probably feel better if you didn't.
Why is it every game I play with you always try to dick
This is
me?
gonna be even better if Killian gets
You're
involved.
not going to be safe.
No, but I care what happens to you, and folks just really happy to
I
hear
have Inger just.
Believe it or not, I care about what happens
What do I
to you,
want
so
him
I'm
to
coming
do?
with you.
Fine.
So
go.
is Mal being stealthy at all?
I don't think he has to be because there's enough going on down there.
Okay.
That's true.
I was gonna say the question would be how chaotic is this
make
battle at the
make
moment?
yeah make
Especially with
me
reinforcements from behind.
make me a perception check for Ingir.
Hey Danny, if NPCs don't have a name, they're not real people.
Roll your
Well, there are two
Uh,
NPCs that have names that are real
19.
people that I'm worried about.
16.
16. Okay. So about this point,
I see
this point,
armored individuals
you-
making his way through the ranks.
Yeah.
No, not through the ranks. Around your side of this brouhaha that's happening,
And I'm just. gonna
and
say that
simultaneously on the far side, you see Mal sitting astride Mizuki's horse, drawing back his bow and taking aim at
You're like,
Brother
oh
Lars.
good, Mal's trying to help our friend.
You don't know. I could just be aiming at the kobolds that are attacking them. It's hard to tell with a bow.
The kobolds that are attacking them are right here.
Okay.
You're going like this!
Do I go full hog on this?
Braden, have you seen what Killian looks like now? I don't know if you.
I have seen what Killian looks like now. Although from this
Although-
distance, I don't think I'm like 100 feet in the air and like
yeah.
200 feet away.
Ingir wouldn't recognize him, and you looking through him would not recognize him.
Yeah. I have
You just
multiple-
see this figure sort of coming around your side of the battle.
I have
You guys are still hidden, right? You
For
haven't
now.
you haven't
Oh, yeah.
broken cover
We
yet.
haven't broken cover
Yeah.
yet.
Okay. Make
We can.
Okay.
Killian, make me a perception check real quick.
12.
No,
Yeah,
not
I didn't
enough.
think so.
Okay.
There is.
And it sounds like
Apparently
Do I
I
have,
Where
it,
my
do I have
action surge is
anything?
going to.
it sounds like some of us are going to break out of cover at this point.
Okay.
Okay.
Nobody said we
The
were
time
One of
time has come.
Does he need his bottle net?
I dropped one of my metal d20s down there.
Yeah, I got it.
Because I gave him a bottle just before I took it.
Okay.
It's
Yeah, I think I'm going as well.
4-ish.
All right. So here's what let's do. Here's what let's do.
Let's roll initiative.
Let's roll initiative.
No!
You gonna roll for me?
Never
Yeah.
roll high enough on these things. I never make deck-based characters.
That's a good one.
Okay.
I feel you. I don't think I've ever made a dex-based character.
Gonna be an 18.
Never played a monk. I guess I played a rogue for one shot.
No. Nope. Nope, I'm not killing Lars.
Why?
I rolled a 12.
You might
I
be.
also rolled a 12.
Oh, you go first anyway.
Steven,
I can.
apparently it doesn't matter if I roll for you.
22.
Your luck does not
That's
hold.
true.
Okay, Steven, did you roll?
What did I roll?
You rolled
What?
9.
So that is a. Oh, is that
No,
five
yeah,
plus?
with your bonus, you got
That
it.
is a 9.
Okay.
There's no way I can there's no way I can
Well-
get there.
Yes, Griff.
Volk.
Just gonna say
There actually
Roll.
might be a way for me to one-shot Lars.
Fired from being your bodyguards. That's
Volk
fair.
rolled an 18.
Not patricide. Fratricide.
If we don't kill them though, Mizu, then that just means they're gonna find us in our hidey spot anyway. So we might as well go ahead and help while we have army at our side, right?
And for Killian?
Killian got a 21.
Mizu's not dead. That means we're still doing a good job for now.
Yes, Griff, go ahead and roll.
Could be dead if we don't kill the things that might try to
But
kill her later.
until then,
Cabbage.
we're doing
Exactly.
good.
12.
We're being proactive.
Yes.
Simi.
18.
Brayden, you can go before.
Brady?
12.
12.
How does killing someone with fall damage work? If I metaphorically drop something on someone, would they take the same damage as whatever the fall damage would be?
Oh no! I missed.
Dang it.
Oops.
We'll
Just
have
has an armful of rocks.
Yeah.
Don't forget to factor in terminal velocity.
And Griff is 16.
So my create bonfire doesn't actually come from me. It's just
interesting.
the point right there.
That's one of my options. Whether that happens or not, I'm just letting you know of something that could happen.
Well,
Okay.
you don't know anything's happening to Lars.
I'm
That's
already
not
shooting
true.
at kobolds.
That's-
No, I know
Once
Steven.
Kobolds are like right in front of you. You're shooting like
Wait, they're not right in front.
over all the kobolds.
Steven, I know how you operate. You want to get the killing blow.
Well, no, I want to make it so that the army doesn't go to the.
In defense,
dwarven-
Mal does have a pretty good reason to want to try and kill Lars. He thinks if he kills Lars, then maybe the group
army
won't
turns
go
around.
to the city.
Yeah, like he just needs to kill the 2 people who know where it is because he wouldn't tell anybody else.
It's not a good idea. It's not going to work, but
Okay.
Did you get Griff 16?
16. Okay.
I'm on the fence on whether to use magic or not.
Thank you, Griff.
Just do it.
All right.
With so many people
So-
around. I
Cast
mean,
in.
Strike them
Oh,
down.
Alright, so we're like, what, 300 feet away from them?
We're 300 feet away from the back of.
Yeah, you're 300 feet away
The-
from sort of the
So it's going to take
fringes
us
of the battle, and Lars is beyond that, inside, sort of
You can
encased
go 90,
in
right?
the
You can
center
get there.
of the,
You can get
Yeah.
there
of the
in
battle.
4 turns.
Yeah, it's gonna take a while.
Most everyone else, it's going to.
There is still the problem of no one else knowing exactly where you guys are headed.
I mean,
You could just start picking off the back of kobolds, but
Well, we don't know which. I don't know what side to fight for yet. So I guess
They're all kobolds.
I guess I'll just have Inger keep telling me like how the battle keeps
How the
going,
battle is going. Okay.
and that will inform me by the time I get there
Currently,
what
I
is
want to
going
fight
on.
against the ones that are killing humans.
So yeah, I'm going to use all 3 to dash and all that stuff, go 90 feet
Okay.
to move in closer.
All right. So you're just sort of moving toward
Movement action and bonus action.
moving that direction to get closer to the battle. Okay. You're not doing so stealthily, obviously.
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
So Killian, who goes next, out of this sort of pile of what you assumed was dead wood, where a tree had fallen over and, sort of dead wood had all piled up against the root ball, you see Castian break cover and start running towards the battle.
Ah!
Okay.
You gonna follow?
Shoot him.
Well, so Killian's going to cast Expeditious Retreat,
Okay.
and then Killian's going to use his whole turn to go 120 feet. So as you're running,
Something just zips by you.
Show off.
On your left.
All right. So
Okay,
between
Captain.
Say it.
between Volk and Simi, who has the higher dex?
I got a +5.
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
Simi, it's you,
I'm gonna
and then Volk.
take all the motion that I can,
Pretty similar.
Yeah.
which isn't gonna get me quite there, I'm sure. 'cause-
No. Yeah, you guys have a lot of ground to cover.
How far is the range on a light crossbow?
Light crossbow? Like a hand crossbow or a light crossbow?
Light crossbow.
Light crossbow is bigger than hand crossbow, but...
is this Killian's crossbow?
No, Killian's crossbow is with Mizuki.
Okay.
Equipment.
I didn't
Killian.
remember where I got it. I just have it.
No, you have Mizuki's, because Killian's has a longer range.
Okay.
A hand crossbow is 3120.
Light.
Light
Light.
crossbow, though, is...
80 feet, 320.
Dang, I can't scroll
Okay.
So
over
80
to
feet is safe, 320
Is
is
kind of
maximum
fair.
and disadvantage on the attack roll.
So I'm gonna go ahead and move as far as I can.
Okay.
Are you using a key point?
No, because I'm probably gonna want to save those for once I get up into combat. But I am going to pop a shot off towards one of the kobolds that looks like he is doing the most damage to the townspeople / military.
Okay.
Like if I'm seeing that there is a hole being formed around one where he's knocking people down, I want to aim for that one.
Okay. I'm not going to make you roll for it. This is sort of
Flavor cinema.
flavor cinema at
Okay,
this
gotcha.
point. So you whip your crossbow out, and as you're sort of flying through the trees, metaphorically speaking, you line up a shot and take the shot, and the kobold goes down in a heap.
Forest. She could use her tentacle thing to, like, spider.
So you are also
Why?
you are also make me a perception check.
Is that a +6? Yes. So that's gonna be 18.
18. Okay. Out ahead of Castian, you see an armored figure that looks vaguely familiar, but
But
different.
I can't actually.
You can't-
Running fast.
yeah,
Can't
running
tell
fast. You can't.
because-
You're looking at the back. You're looking at the back of an armored figure. You
And
can't
he's
really
in, like,
tell.
like the armor's really nice and like very not gilded, but it has a lot of like
So not Killian.
Very
engraving.
flashy.
Yeah, very very fluffy and nice looking, and he has long shoulder length hair that's pulled back into like a half ponytail. So from behind, I don't know if you would like.
I cut off your pony.
It's a little bit similar, but
Probably, yeah. From behind, I probably.
it's very
I'm
different
just-
than the last time you guys saw him.
I cut off
just
your pony.
just so you are aware, Volk.
Volk is going to run towards
Kobold,
the kobolds, and he actually. So I assume most of these people are trying to head to the humans. The Volk is sort of veering more towards where the kobolds he can actually kill are.
Okay. All right.
I really like the dwarf
you're
in the
still-
barrel with the 2 axes.
So you are not able to get there.
Oh no, it's gonna be wild.
but you're making action and movement to get there.
Yep.
Okay. So you're kind of you're like Gimli at the back of the pack,
Yep.
just running as hard as you can. Possibly
Very dangerous over short distances.
Which does bring us to Griff. You're going to follow whoever. Remind me, Griff, what your movement
I
is.
believe it's 30.
She's human. She's at 30.
So you're 30. So if you're using your action and your movement, you're going to be behind Simi
Do we need to?
and
Do
behind.
we need to start writing down how far people go?
You would actually be closest probably to Volk. Would be the person you'd be able to keep up with.
That's logical.
So
Yeah, because we have normal movement speeds.
right. So you're probably going to be hanging close to Volk at this point.
I have 25.
And again, not you guys are
Natural sprinters.
you and Volk are not able to close within melee distance this round. It'd probably be a couple of rounds for you guys.
How far would
Okay.
you have gone?
I guess
40,
since I
right?
took an attack, actually it would just be 40, so Volk's ahead of me.
Simi, roll me a d6.
Suzuki
Sure.
went 60. Castian
That's a
went
one.
90.
90.
Okay.
And Killian went 120.
So the humans, for their part, are actually able to hold their ground
Nice.
this round against the kobolds from either side. Even though they are hitting sort of the weakest part of the human line in the back, that part is able to rally this round and hold its ground and take out a few of them. Not enough to turn the battle yet, but enough to hold their own.
Okay.
All right. That then will bring us to Cabbage.
Wait, have you gone?
No, you go first. It's fine.
Run, cabbage.
Oh,
It won't
no. Well, I'm sorry. You're right. I had you down first, so you'll go first. Sorry, Milo.
Just booking it.
Just
You're not
booking
flying yet?
No, not yet.
it.
Someone else is. A small red dot is slowly preparing for a dive bombing run.
Just imagine you're
Oh,
up there
okay.
going,
What's he gonna do?
He goes 100. He goes 120. So I don't
Okay.
know how far it is.
I like to mention
He was
here
100
got,
feet
he has
up.
a little aviator's cap whenever he flies.
He's
he puts the
probably
goggles on.
about.
Is he like?
He's made it about a quarter of the way from
He
where
might
he
be.
was, 100 feet up, to where your brother is.
So it's about 480 feet to him.
Roughly, yeah.
I have 3 more rounds.
What if he dropped a poop
Okay.
bomb and blinded him?
I will make note of that for your turn. Okay, so then it's
Just a thought.
So then
No,
it's
it's
Cabbage.
Cabbage.
So you're Milo. You're going to be kind of in the same.
Yeah, no,
same
I
stretch
figured out where everyone
as-
is now.
Yeah,
So-
Braden's keeping track of the
Okay,
distance people are
so
moving.
you'll be in the same stretch as Volk and
Yeah, I'm with
Mizuki, right?
So Milo, and you're probably just gonna go to the 90.
action, movement, dash.
Yep,
Yep.
90.
So 90. All right. So here's first round. Here's the distance scores. At
120.
120, Killian, who is in the lead. In tying second place is Cabbage and Castian. Followed with the 60s of Volk, Milo, and Mizuki. And then trailing behind is Simi.
Huh.
I'm taking
'Cause she
my
took
time
an
to
attack.
attack, yeah.
So back to the top of the round.
no, because Milo
Mal.
So,
or Mal. I'm sorry, you're Milo. No.
how close is the
What
nearest
ended?
kobold to me?
You all would say.
So there are kobolds between you and Lars.
Right.
So the closest one
Now we can
probably
stop the
going to be about
kobolds.
300 feet.
Okay, so we're gonna ride 120 feet closer
Okay.
with the horse's action and movement, and then I'm going to take shots at Lars. I'm gonna pop out a shadow next to me who is also shooting,
Okay.
and we're going to action surge into this. Well, depending on if he goes down, but
Never in my existence has I wanted you to roll so badly. Then at this.
That's not
moment-
true. That's not true. Get you want to roll for me? So that should put me within regular distance.
That's a good solid idea.
And I'm going to use an inspiration on that one. Cool. All right. So that is a 21 to hit.
Okay.
You'll use shield.
Not at all. Little stitches.
Not touching that.
Okay.
Unlike some of us, I like my dice.
Okay, that is a 24 to hit.
That'll hit.
Then from the shadow. Gosh, that's gonna miss. 4 plus 7 is
11.
11.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
that's
assuming
gonna
he's
miss.
wearing armor.
Yeah, that's gonna miss.
And then action surge.
You can believe.
9 plus 7, 16.
That one's gonna miss,
Okay. The other one is 22.
and that one will hit.
How many was that?
That was 3.
3 hits? Okay. Stop it.
You're absolutely gonna die. Oh no! Oh, I saw one that wasn't terrible. Maybe that covered out of its system.
No, don't spit up on me.
It's going to. I mean, you already know that's a thing that's gonna happen. It's an inevitability.
24 damage.
Okay.
Yes, Griffin.
It is but scratch.
But
Break that down for me. How many per shot?
Oh,
It was. What's your bonus?
plus 2.
Okay. So that was 9, 6, and 4.
Okay. So you rear back and you draw your bow and you fire, and the first arrow flies true, and it strikes Lars in the back because he had turned facing the bulk of the fight in front of him, and he sort of staggers in his saddle. The general sort of looks over his shoulder as your second arrow flies
That
in.
wasn't part of the plan.
I saw you.
And he sort of waves his hand, and a bolt of flame flies out and
From
intercept-
Lars?
No,
No,
from the
from
general.
the general.
Oh. Okay.
Flies out and intercepts your second shot, incinerating the arrow. And as the third arrow is flying in from your shadow, he does it again. So only the first shot actually hits.
He just used magic in front of a large group of people that
don't care.
Yeah, never mind.
I mean, the army might care, but not the fire
Well, and
kobolds.
I'm pretty sure that the garrison commander is not in the group of soldiers that Lars brought.
Yeah.
So when you see your boss flinging magic around,
You're just like, okay, I guess I don't get to say anything.
I'll just
That's the
pretend I didn't see you do that.
All right.
So I have a new target.
So
Gank the mage first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Ingir saw Mal
Okay.
draw back, let fly, and his shadow let fly. And you see the general turn around. You see the first arrow hit, and then you see the general turn around and intercept the next two shots with bolts of fire.
we're gonna lose 2 Steven characters.
That's fine.
Is it?
Does he have another character?
And at this
drawn up?
point,
I mean,
The
it's
top of
Steven,
initiative,
probably.
right?
no,
Probably has 2
not
or
quite.
3 more just in case.
Roll a d6.
4.
Okay. The
Pick at my
the stone kobolds are sort of pinchering, they're doing a pincher against the circle of fire kobolds. They're hitting them front and back, and now the fire kobolds seem to be on the ropes. Where the stone kobolds are rushing against the humans in front, they're starting to make some inroads. They're starting to cut channels in. There is one thrust that looks like it's getting. Clip that. That's getting close to pushing in to
What episode is this?
30. So there's a. What did you trip
Yeah,
on?
what did you trip on, man?
The cord.
The extension cord.
It would have been fine, except it caught in between my toes.
It's graceful.
Something like that.
See, it's not easy to not pull a plug.
Would I have
Yeah.
wiped out the whole system if I did?
Yes.
Cool.
That could have been fun.
Then
Yes.
The last thing that the screen hears is.
Wilhelm scream.
Yeah,
So,
screen.
so they're also starting to make inroads into the human front, and there's one thrust that looks like it's pushing in towards the command position with Lars and the general.
Question.
Yes.
From where I'm running, did I see somebody fling fire?
Make a perception check.
I mean, there's lots of fire coming from the other kobolds too, though.
Yeah, but from the command range.
18.
18. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. In fact, as you're running, you see this arrow sort of flash out of nowhere and strike Lars. Because you recognize Lars, and strike him in the back. And then you see the general who's next to him turn around and sort of fling fire out of his hands at more arrows that are coming in out of nowhere. You didn't see where those came from.
Great. Fan-freaking-tastic.
What, you want to keep Lars alive?
All right.
Yes.
So we are back to the
Over
top
my
of the
dead
round.
body. He's dying here tonight.
Castian.
Look me dead in my eyes when I say this. He is dying tonight.
Yep. That's the plan.
It will be my hand. By my hands.
Okay, so they still there. I'm gonna move all my actions to move forward again, and that should put me just over halfway.
Yep. It should. All right.
180.
Answers?
You've got 120 left to go.
Yep.
Okay. No, Killian.
Unless this puts me within range of calling out to the general or Lars or anybody or anything, he's just going to keep running to try and get to the humans.
120 again?
Yep.
Okay, you're at 240. You are 60 feet away from...
So you're about 60 feet from sort of the back of the line of stone kobolds, and it's
So-
another 100 or so feet beyond that to the center where Lars and the general are.
So Killian so far has not pulled out any weapons or anything. He has kept all his weapons and he's just running.
Just run. Okay. Yep. Sounds good. See me. Yes, but are you really
Oh, is it Griffin's turn?
engaged to him? Because
And nobody knows but Lars.
nobody knows but Lars. Nobody's ever
Secret
said
to
anything.
engagement.
Whose
So,
turn is it?
Oh my
it's
goodness.
It's a
see me.
big
Okay,
conspiracy.
Oh, it's me? Sorry.
See me.
So yeah, I'm gonna keep on running up there. I'm gonna analyze again, like where the most
Which one is Lars?
humans seem to be struggling.
You taking another shot then?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Let's
gonna
go
try,
80.
So yeah.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
All right. So go ahead and again, I'm not going to make you make an attack roll. You do find another one of those spots where the stone kobolds seem to be pushing in to the humans. They're pushing in close to where they're starting to make a thrust into where Lars is. Make me a perception check.
Oh, that sucked. I haven't done anything cool yet. So I don't have any way to fix that.
Plus
so
6.
it's just going to be an 11.
11. I mean, it's chaotic, but it's not so chaotic that you wouldn't notice this. There's the thrust that's going in, closing in on Lars. There's a thrust that's pushing in and Akarais at the front, and he is facing off with one of the big hulking brutes.
Yes! A choice must be made!
And there's a thrust where Zoigan is sort of standing just behind the front lines, trying to sort of bolster the people around him.
Oh, you beautiful bastard. You're making her choose! You're making her choose! Yes!
How
Which
far are
can
they
do,
from
see? What is the just thing to do?
Okay, so Lars is
She's
being.
not.
So there's a thrust headed sort of in the direction of Lars. It hasn't gotten to him yet, but
He
it's
can die.
getting
I'm not too worried
close.
about that.
Then you've got Akarai, and then you've got Zoigan. And
Zoigan is behind the first line of people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but who knows how long that'll last.
Basically, you have to choose which one are you going to go try and save.
This is the Mass Effect choice for you.
Yep.
Oh.
Do you let Caden Malenko die, or do you let
Ashley
Ashley
Williams.
Williams die?
And Lars is
A reference you won't know, but which one are you willing to hope does not die?
Even our odds.
Spins our odds.
Where does it look like the most harm stands to be done to people that aren't them?
Are you just giving up on the
Yeah!
so the thrust that is heading for Lars is deeper in the human lines and is pushing harder.
I want to shake your hand.
Alright, Miss Justice.
Don't
Well, I
do it.
believe that's her turn, so she gets an entire round to think on that.
Yeah, think about that, Wonder
Yep.
Woman.
Well, this is before she takes her shot.
Oh, true.
I am going to shoot into
Shoot
the
Zoigan.
shoot.
Mercy killing.
I'm gonna shoot
There's no
into
justice
the
if
area where they are pushing towards Lars through the human line. I
Okay.
am going to keep running.
Can you
Is Akarai or Zoigan closer?
It's 6
He's
1
not
half a
going to make this
dozen.
easy for you.
Actually, hold on. I need to check something.
But the
real quick.
thing is,
Oh.
the thing that Akarai is fighting is bigger.
Looks like it.
Okay, I'm also going to point out Akarai is also far more capable than we've seen Zoican.
Also, not to be a rules
That's
lawyer,
fair.
but I
But if
believe
it's
you
on the
have.
way-
I believe you have to reload your crossbow.
True.
No.
What?
It's a light crossbow. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not how reloading works.
Oh.
Reloading just means you can't take more than one attack with it in a round.
I'll do whatever you guys tell me
So
to.
if
it's
you
fine.
have the multi-attack feature, you can't attack more than
right,
once
that's
with it
right.
in a round.
Right. Okay.
But, it
But you can
doesn't-
reload
yeah.
between rounds.
Okay. And you could pull
That's-
other
that's
weapons
your
and attack
interaction,
with
that's
them.
right.
So I'm gonna kill the ones that or try to kill the ones that are cutting through the people to Lars
Okay.
first. I am going to keep running towards.
He will.
If it's kind of
Just for now.
one over the
I'm
other.
gonna say what happens with this party. Captain
the
ran
bigger
away.
one looks like it's probably
Colonel
going to be
run
able to
away.
do more damage if it gets past
There's
Akarai.
more going on.
So I'm going to kind of run towards Akarai's direction, but keep eyes on Zoigan's direction to see if I need to redirect.
Okay.
Wow,
right.
that was
Next.
real non-committal.
So
I've
you
made two choices. I shot into the group that's after, and I have a direction I'm going. I'm just
Yeah,
also
yeah.
paying
You're
attention.
like, I'm
Save
gonna help over
Lars.
there, and I'm gonna help over there, and I'm gonna keep an eye over there in case they actually need my help.
I mean, yeah.
Just let
Oh,
Caden die.
yeah, I guess you did
Caden
tell
just
the group,
is a
didn't you?
one
Yeah, I've
who
got that
needs
ready.
to
Yeah,
die.
I like
Guys.
Caden.
Okay.
I always let him die, but I like
He's a
Caden.
So you shoot into the group of kobolds that is trying to get to Lars. You do take down one of them. You catch it sort of at the base of the skull, right below where its helmet is sitting, and it goes down in a heap. And then you start sort of curving over towards where Akarai is. Volk.
Running.
120.
Okay.
No,
Volk, not.
Volk.
Right, 100.
Killian.
No, you're up to 120.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It's
So
like,
so
yeah,
another
Volk can't
60.
go 120. That'd be nice.
At this point,
Wow, this whole battle has broken
Mizuki
down to a lot of.
Hashtag save
at this
Okay.
point, Mizuki sort of drops back a little bit, and she is going to cast Bless on
Simi,
Mars.
Volk, and Milo.
Simi, Vulcan, Milo.
Mars.
So Volk gets a D4, you get a D4, and I get a D4 on all rolls. So
You get a D4. and you
Volk,
get a
Simi,
D4.
and Milo. Yep.
So. And then I assume
hashtag
she'll
Steve
move the
Lars.
30 feet, so she's at
And then-
120.
Yeah. So there's that is Mizuki. That will take us now to Milo.
Hi. I'll just
He is
move the
looking
60.
so judgmentally
So
at
Okay.
that.
I'll be 120. And Ingir will continue on his descent of 240.
I just kind of picture him there with the aviator's scarf thrown over his back.
In
and
my
the-
head,
and
he's
the nose.
exactly. He's got the scarf. We got him a little cap. He pulls the
goggles
goggles down.
Ooh, does he have a red doghouse?
That's what I was thinking too.
that,
Yeah.
Okay.
You can imagine he's on a red
No
dog.
attacks or saving
Mars
throws
is
this
gonna look
round.
at the
Probably
sun
start getting
as
into them
it
next
comes
round,
out of the
Griff.
sun.
It's just that much ground to have
Are
to
we back to
cover.
the top? No, we're at Mal.
Not quite, because I have been neglecting.
This is such a
Certain
Um,
NPCs
There's so
or
many different
stuff.
So, Steven, D6.
Roll 1.
Uh, 6.
6? Okay.
I trying to remember what that one is.
All right.
There's
So,
many agendas in this battle.
there's sort of a surge all around the human army, and from all sides it looks like the kobolds are starting to push in. The red kobolds are sort of tucking in close to them to try and make a difference, but they're not really making a difference. The front is starting to cave in a little bit. The rear is starting to cave in a little bit. Despite Simi sort of cutting down the main thrust towards Lars, a couple more are starting to open up, and it's starting to look pretty bad. I've already had you do roll a d6.
4.
Okay. There is sort of a rustle through the red kobolds, and the general sort of hunkers down a little bit in his saddle, and then he sits up and just sort of does this number,
Okay.
and
Wait.
Yep.
from
No!
from all sides of the assembled armies, there starts to be this
Wait.
sort of
beetle.
insectile
Okay.
noise.
The general is the fire dwarf thing.
Yep.
Kidding me.
I want him
And
alive.
there is just this
Oh,
enormous
he can stay alive.
swarm
Lars will be dying.
of fire beetles on the wing that starts to swoop in to the rear of the stone kobolds. And fire starts flaming out of all of them all around.
Oh no.
And the battle is swinging back now to the humans and the fire kobolds.
Kind of good, I guess. Well, I want the humans alive.
All right.
Just not Lars.
So,
Pretty good moral standard.
So you know what this means?
Hmm.
Somewhere out there, in the big wide universe, there's a tribe of kobolds with your name on it.
Yeah. That would be fun.
Oh.
Pirate kobold or something like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fire kobolds.
Maybe, who knows?
You can use your army of kobolds for the course
Yeah.
of good.
okay.
They have that.
Mal.
Talk the herbalist.
All right.
What you got for this?
All right, so the lowest one of those is a 15.
Okay, so I need to know what each of them.
Okay, sorry. 15, 17, 24.
Okay.
I'm gonna guess 24 hits. I'm gonna guess the mage is gonna stop your 17. And I'm gonna guess 15 misses.
Still going for
Yeah,
Lars, I take it.
and that's
Oh, yeah.
that's how it goes. The
Yep.
15 misses. The 24 will hit
Be really
Lars
hard
again in the
talking out of this
shoulder, and then the 17 is stopped by the general.
7 points of damage.
Okay.
You made me hit a random army guy.
If I take out his guards, I don't care.
Are we back to the top?
And
of the round?
I am also gonna move closer.
Okay. You're getting very close at this point to the back of the battle, and you'll be within melee range of kobolds at this point.
Okay, and how thick is the line there?
It's pretty thick. It's
7 kobold.
raw.
That's fine.
It's probably a line at least 40 feet deep of kobolds.
7 kobold deep.
So like 4 dwarf deep.
We can make this work.
Oh, jeez.
Are we back to the top of the round?
No, I need you to make me a d6 roll.
Jump.
Yes.
And then
6.
Okay.
This is everyone's chance to use magic in front of all
The
Imperials.
fire beetles and the fire kobolds are starting to like rip into the stone
That's
kobolds
the
again.
opposite of what I wanted.
The humans get a second wind, are starting to push back a little bit now too.
Wanted the stone kobolds to win?
Yeah?
And-
If all of the humans are dead, then there's nothing I have to worry about.
and it looks like the stone kobolds now are on the
imagine
ropes.
that I have moral high ground on Milo, but
Low
All right,
bar.
that does take us back to the top
Okay,
of the
just
round.
standing for distance.
Fiance.
So here's the standing for distance. Killing is 240 feet forward. Casting is 180.
Yep.
Milo, Volk, and Mizuki are at 120. And Cabbage is at 90. And Simi is holding once again at the back with 80.
Hey, I'm shooting people. Shut.
Yes, you are.
True. So,
All right.
and then Ingir is
So,
in a
question
questionable
for you.
determination
Yeah.
as no one is allowed to
Actually,
do that.
before you do anything, make me a perception check.
3 turns, so he still has 1 turn.
I have 2 more turns left.
Oh, that's a 7.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so question. Does the humans count as allies flanking?
Ooh, interesting.
Allies.
That depends.
question
Are
mark.
you,
You're
are
actually-
you attacking fire
You're actually
kobolds or
10
stone
feet. You're
kobolds?
10 feet too short.
Yeah, I know. I'm just
For
asking.
That is an interesting.
That is an interesting conundrum. That is an interesting question. It will depend, I suppose, on which kobolds you are attacking.
All of them.
Are you using your whole turn to move?
180. That'll put me at what?
270.
So
And you'll be
that'll
30
about
away.
30 away. So yeah, we'll do that.
Okay. So you can just use your movement and then go
Just
to a
the-
stabbing.
The amount of like. So I don't know what I know what Simi wants. I don't know what Cabbage and Castian care about, but like there are 4 different agendas as to what people want to have happen
Yes.
during this battle.
At the table.
Yes.
Much less
Yes.
what's going on in the army. Army wants to survive. The dwarves want to find their home.
This is a free-for-all.
Yes.
I couldn't have
And
written
I'm
this
all
any better.
for it.
So how from the outside where we're coming in,
Mm-hmm.
how far is Lars in the middle?
You're about 130 feet from Lars.
There you go.
Are you gonna try to kill Lars too?
Actually, I would give you my blessing. I would give you my blessing.
What are you trying to kill?
You're Steven. You just do things for the achievements.
Oh, you're just an achievement whore.
Ow.
That's a low blow, Brayden.
I just want to make sure I'm clear so I know what my options
The only
are.
reason you're hurt is because it's true.
No.
It's okay, Steven. I don't think that you're just a whore for achievements.
Thank you.
You're the whole damn brothel.
Brayden with a comeback.
Woo!
Okay.
I'm
so
digging for
moving forward.
inspiration, okay? I'm gonna need it here in a moment.
Killian.
How far is Killian from the command structure of the humans?
So how far have you gotten? Has he gotten?
240
He's
feet.
240, so he's
240.
You're 160 away from the middle.
I forget when that
Okay.
was said, but I love it.
I'm gonna run my full 120 then.
Oh, that was when
That'll put you in the midst.
Okay,
Of
so
now,
that's
as I start moving through
360.
fire kobolds,
you're 300.
do they start attack? I mean, I haven't touched my weapons.
That was when
Do I?
that was the end of
My
it.
goal is to just run through, assuming they don't try and stop
Irresistible
me.
means.
I love it.
Are you using all of your turn?
Well, it depends on if the fire
Okay.
kobolds try and stop me or not. Because I don't know if they will. be
Are
chill with me
you
running.
proficient with persuasion?
With I am.
I
I could inspire the stone people to push forward.
I could try and persuade
Yes.
somebody to do something. I got a
What
negative one.
is your passive persuasion?
Okay, it does the opposite thing.
15.
You can accept.
They do not seem to care that you are pushing through their line.
Yes.
Then yeah,
They
I'm gonna
are-
use my whole
You are-
120.
Okay, you are 40 feet from Lars.
Okay.
But you're in the middle of this stone.
Yeah. So he is in the middle
no.
of. He's in the middle of the ranks.
He's in the. He's
Stone or the fire.
you've passed all.
You passed everybody.
You're
passed through the stone.
Yeah.
Yep.
You've passed through
Through the fire.
the fire.
He's
You've
about
passed
halfway
through.
the fire.
Yeah,
the
and
humans.
then that gets you into the human ranks.
Okay, that's fine. I wasn't worried. I figured that when they saw a person who didn't look like a small reptile approaching them, they'd be cool.
Yeah. So you're about 40 away.
Okay.
Actually, okay.
This
so,
is gonna
so,
be
so I rolled
real
rolled it
tight for everybody's to.
So I rolled it for the fire. Let me do it for the stone.
Yeah, because they're the ones that are actually attacking humans.
And what was your passive?
15.
15.
Cabbage is just like, let's keep everybody else alive. Keep my friends alive.
Kill Lars.
I'm debating on just gambling.
Okay, so you had advantage on the humans
I
because
have
you're not a
priorities, I
kobold,
don't mind if that
and
happens.
you beat the stone, you beat the fire, and with your advantage or with their disadvantage rather, you
humans
beat
let me through.
the humans let you through as well. So you are within the human ranks
Cool.
now. Looking around, you do see Akerai sort of at the front, and it looks like the one he was facing just got a crossbow bolt through the back of the helmet and fell down, and then you see Zoigan a little bit away, sort of behind the line, but sort of right there, not too far from where the action is as well. Thank you, Poser. All right, so that's Killian. That's going to take us to Simi.
Okay, so what am I seeing between...
Make me a perception check.
He's still making you choose between your religion, your ethics, and your
That one's
love.
gonna be 18.
18. The figure in the armor has somehow managed to weave its way through both lines of kobolds into the human in the center.
Hell?
And he gets there and
And
he
he still hasn't drawn any weapons.
still hasn't drawn any weapons. And he turns around and surveys the line. And as he turns around, you recognize Killian.
Yes! Yes! Use all your movement to kick his ass! Yes!
There is
We have a
still,
Hulk!
there is still a push towards Lars. It has not gone anywhere since last round. There is still. Oh right, you didn't. Sorry, the kobold that went down with the bolt was not in front of Akerai. It was
He's
push,
the one pushing towards Lars.
pushing towards Lars. So there is still the push towards Lars. This has not made up any ground. There is still the fight with Akerai. He's holding his own, but he hasn't taken down the one that he's fighting. And odds or evens.
Evens?
Nobody ever chooses evens, but
Betrayed us.
I
The
forgot!
The soldier that was standing in front of Zoigan takes a sword to its belly
And even betrays
and
you.
falls to the ground, and that kobold pulls his sword out and is now bearing down on Zoigan.
This is what you get
Your
for choosing
ethics, your religion, or your love.
Well,
Or vengeance.
Or
Vengeance.
vengeance.
I'm not convinced that I'm wholly sane, so I'm not 100% positive that I'm seeing what I'm seeing. Although, I will be having words with what I'm seeing later to make sure and confirm. However, as
Oh,
long
like
as
he
you
knows.
said- Oh,
Do you need a drink to make things right again?
absolutely.
What you gonna
but
do?
for right now, Zoigan seems to be the one that is in the most immediate danger.
So another 40 feet and shoot?
So no, I'm gonna. Well, is there anything behind the one that is currently going in towards Zoigan? Is it like a line of them? Is it?
I mean, it's sort of this thrust. So there's this wedge of kobolds that is pushing that direction. There's one of them that's facing off against him, but there's this like sort of V of kobolds that are battling human soldiers on both sides.
Okay. So if Zoigan dies and you're in the vicinity, do you just automatically become the god of justice?
Pretty sure.
We're about
That's
to.
not how that works.
We're
Yeah,
about to
you
find
do.
out.
So
I can say authoritatively that's not how that works.
I am gonna actually blow a key point on this one. I will move max movement. I will
Okay, so
take my
step of the
attack,
wind.
You're too
Natalie.
and
Killian
then
asked
I will
if
do
that's how
my
that works.
dash thing, my step of the wind thing.
Yep.
Okay, so movement, shoot, dash of the.
Step of the wind.
Step of the wind.
So
Okay.
Now Cabbage wants to kill Zoid.
160.
See me, the god of
So
justice.
you
Oh, man.
take. I assume you're shooting the one in front of Zoigan.
Yeah.
Okay, so the kobold raises his sword to bring it down, and your bolt
know.
catches it
Not
right
a lot.
between right between the shoulder blades,
Molotov.
and it just sort of collapses in front of him. He sort of looks up and sees you,
Where are you going?
Mayonnaise.
and and then he just melts back into the human lines and pulls soldiers in front of himself.
He's a coward.
Okay.
God of running away, baby.
Yeah,
God of
make me a perception check, Mizuki, and we'll see.
I eat myself right in the front line.
And that is how you stealth.
All right, Brandon. I will keep the mage distracted. You kill him.
I've got
Okay.
another 5 turns.
Freak, man.
I only go 60 if
Come on.
I use my action and my movement.
All right, so that's Simi.
Don't worry, my stealth bomber is inbound.
Izu
Volk.
sees Zoigan.
I'm gonna have her
So
roll
apparently
perception
I'm
to
not
find
gonna
out.
Happy to be
Uh,
with me.
Volk is gonna continue
I
running
need
until
you
he
to
can
be
close
with
with the
me.
stone
We
golems,
can
and then
both
he's
do,
just gonna lay into him.
Okay,
Sneak attack.
How much is Volk? 180 or
So it's
60?
30 and then 60 if
No,
he has to
agenda.
dash.
Oh. Kill boys.
you're at 100? So you got 120 more feet.
so with a 19, yes, you do see Zoigan Mizuki.
Definitely needs to be.
So he was what?
He is 180 feet away from.
Volk
From the
is
back of the
still
line?
just
No,
running.
he's up 180. He's 120 feet away.
Okay.
2 more turns. You'll get there.
Okay.
2 more turns.
It's okay.
Just start throwing.
All right.
That's alright. It looks like there's plenty to fight. I don't think Volk is.
We are at Mizuki, so Mizuki, you were able to see Zoigan. What would you want to do?
There goes 4.
And while we're waiting on her,
It's
Milo,
the-
go ahead.
Oh, I'm next.
Lord of the Rings
Why am I
song
next?
When he wades
Oh, actually, hold off before you do that.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Roll a d6.
There's a 5.
Okay. The humans are having a bad time this round, so they're sort of collapsing in on themselves, pulling back towards Lars and trying to protect him and the general.
See? No names. They always die.
Milo.
Okay.
Okay, so
Does she? I don't know if
Mizuki-
she has range. Does she?
So what's the range on?
Sanctuary.
You could
Sanctuary.
cast Sanctuary on Lars.
She don't care.
I'll look up Sanctuary real quick.
I want to say it's 6.
The one thing I haven't done is memorize all of. Yeah, Sanctuary is 30 feet, unfortunately.
Okay, so you actually don't have enough distance to cast Sanctuary on Zoigan.
Unfortunately. You're 180 feet from Zoigan. Or even getting close to where Zoigan could be, so.
Okay, so you're going to use your movement then.
Okay, so her movement and action then, I guess?
I would imagine so.
She's
So
at
move her
she's 180 up.
180 up, so another 120 from the
So
back.
2
of the
more
line.
turns and she'll make it.
Okay, cool. All right, Milo.
Moving on up.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, even
Ingir
moving
will once again.
even moving as far as you can, I don't think you can close ranks to cast Sanctuary on Zoigan is the problem.
Without fighting through.
You're still just a little
Well,
far
I mean,
away.
It only has a range of 30 feet.
Yeah, as I say, even then, it only has a range of 30 feet.
You are 180 feet away.
Right.
So
So
okay, and then Ingir will continue his.
so you're
approach.
closing in and Ingir's closing in.
Yep.
Okay. Bless is still up for those of you that have it. Don't
Yeah.
forget.
So Simi, Volk, and Milo.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Cabbage.
I keep moving.
You're full 90.
Yeah. Did I see the armored figure?
Make a perception check.
This is where I start getting attacked.
Oh, I'm gonna jump at you like an angry spider monkey. 16.
to jump.
16? Yeah.
But recognize or just see an armored figure?
I mean, you should have seen him already.
Yeah, you would have seen him already. So with the 16, once he turns around and sort of surveys the line, you realize that's Killian.
Yeah, stop him. Don't let him get to Lars.
You just yell
I
Killian.
did.
Okay.
It's like,
Okay, wasn't just me.
Do you?
Killian looks like
do
deer.
you also?
He's just like,
do you also use your dash and your action to
Yeah,
move?
so
Okay.
full 90.
Okay.
I'm just
So
gonna
are you-
scream at you.
With me now?
Where
No.
am I?
No.
So
So
tell us, master of the range bands.
Milo.
Nope.
no.
Mal.
Try it one more
Sorry.
time.
Mal.
So just
Big fire.
I haven't been keeping track of Mal's, but so here's the standing. It's Killian is
In the army.
past the edges and is within 40 feet of Lars. Castian is 270, so you're 30 feet away from the back of the line.
Yeah.
Everyone except Simi is at 180, and Simi is 160.
You're close.
So you're close. You're within 10 feet of everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, Mal.
So one of those is gonna miss
Okay.
pretty
Oh, yeah.
badly. And then I've got a natural 20 and a 23.
Nate,
Yeah.
will you please verify?
Good night,
You're fine.
poser.
That is a 20.
Good night, poser.
Good night, poser. Thank you. So your natural 20 is taken out by the
You don't have inspiration?
by the mage. But then the other one will hit.
That's a shame.
So that is 13 points of damage.
Okay.
Now wait, he's got spit up on his forehead. Somehow.
How even,
Oh.
That had to have been from his hand.
Oh,
makes sense.
boy.
That's what happens when you
okay.
shove your whole hand in your
Come
mouth.
let me get that.
Okay.
Not quite with the spit up.
And then
I believe it's top of the round, unless there's another army. push, whatever.
did you just roll? No, you just rolled a d6. Danny, roll a d6.
I have to switch between
5.
Irish and Russian.
Okay.
It's alright.
So there is this sort of swirl of the fire beetles around, and they start dive bombing different parts of the stone kobolds, and cutting just these gouts of flame, just cutting swaths through them.
So what does the army look like now? Manageable?
All three of
That's a weird word to use, Brayden.
all three of
What's
the
the ratio of
armies.
party to NPCs?
Yeah.
I mean, all three of the armies are still armies, but they're all also like roughly half strength at this point.
So yeah, manageable.
So about 350 army, and then I have no idea what the kobolds started out as. So
Yeah, it's a relative strength thing at this point. That will take us to the top of the round. If you'll like, if you want to sort of read out where everybody is at this point.
I did.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah, while Mal was having his turn. I'm not keeping track of where Mal is.
Okay.
But
So question
So
for you.
Castian, yes.
Like 30 feet. ahead.
Are they all like shoulder to shoulder in battle, or are they kind of spread out?
A
A little bit of A, a little bit of B, because there are places where the soldiers are like shoulder to shoulder in all three armies, and then there are places where one army has sort of thrust into another, and there might be breaks in one army or the other. There are places where the defenses are thin. There are places where they're a little bit
Okay, so
stronger.
it's
It's
just a big
just
mix.
it's chaos right now.
Tired and too easily
Okay.
used. Things are funny that should not be funny.
you're only 30 feet
30 feet from the line.
from the edge of the line.
Okay. And Lars is like
130.
130.
130.
Okay, so you've already seen Killian, yeah?
Yeah.
I haven't.
You saw the
made a
figure.
look.
You saw the figure. You haven't identified.
I saw
it
him
yet.
pass me.
Make me a perception check real quick.
Perception. Oh, that's a 9.
Yeah,
No, I'm too busy. At the
yeah.
moment.
You're too busy trying to analyze and figure out how you're getting into this thing.
Okay. 60 feet. 60. Shoot, I'll be about 10 feet out of range.
Correct.
Okay.
But you could just use your movement and action to just move, and then use your disengage
Well,
to just.
My
Pardon me. Excuse me.
create bonfire is 60 feet range, so.
Again. This never works, Nate.
He's on a horse. The horse will cook.
going to. Exactly.
Unless you can manage to make the bonfire appear inside of someone.
I'm targeting his horse.
Because that's... Okay, alright.
No, don't do that because I'll miss.
It doesn't matter, I'm out of range anyways.
Damn.
And I wouldn't be able to move into range and cast it at the same
So
time.
why does Castian want to kill Lars?
We all do. Well, most of us.
Because Nate.
Raise your hand if you want to
Okay.
kill Lars.
I mean, I just don't
Seems
mind
like
if he
someone else on the
dies.
table is outvoted. Someone's been gone from the group.
Yeah.
I just don't know why Castian wants him dead. I know everyone else wants him dead.
He's a dick. I don't like him.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, I
fair
have
enough.
priorities, but I'm not going to
Yes.
complain if he dies.
Okay, okay, you said I was about, what, 30 feet from the front line?
Yes.
Dead for Alma.
Okay.
From the back line of.
Yeah, from the back line.
Do it.
Alma was gonna go try to. Like,
I am
circle.
going to...
I think it's emptied.
How hard would it be to hide in the crowd? From Lars.
Roll a stealth check.
As everybody else just wails on you from around, right next to you. But Lars won't see you die.
That's 22.
All right. So you sort of start ducking down into the lines of the kobolds.
Okay. And then with that, I'll just I'll go and cast bonfire behind me on one of the stone ones.
Just carefully light it off.
So do you move up to
So-
the line or?
Keith is now deciding if that breaks stealth.
Well, I'm
It
trying.
doesn't come from me. It just appears.
I'm trying
casting
to
a spell
casting a spell is
breaks
will break
your-
your stealth, but
So
I'm
will
trying
break
to
the stealth?
decide if. No,
It's
because I think
stone.
you're taking the time to try to hide would be your action.
Okay, that's
for the,
fair.
For
that's
the
a fair
round.
point.
Yeah, hide
Uh,
is action.
He's a
But I
rogue.
Except
do-
he's a
I
rogue,
do
so he can
have-
do it
Oh,
as a
you-
bonus.
bonus.
you are the rogue, right? Never
Yes.
mind. Sorry. Yeah,
You keep thinking he's a
you
wizard.
can try to hide,
Because he keeps
That's
casting
fire.
bonfire.
but then you cast. So think about what order you want to do that. Do you want to hide first, or do you want to cast the spell first?
Because create bonfire doesn't actually come from me. It just appears.
No,
You're
but
casting
you-
a spell, and that's
Nate,
going to
Nate,
break your
okay,
stuff.
Nate.
There's a real easy way to do this. You
Okay.
just cast the spell first.
That's-
Yeah, I'll cast the spell first.
And then
Okay.
Then
spell.
I'll go hide.
All right.
It's a deck save.
I'm not worried. I'm not worried about that. These are all
Dodge out of the way,
minions.
'cause they're side by
How
side.
big is the bonfire?
Is 5 feet.
So 5 feet. Okay.
5 foot cube.
So you.
That's why I was asking how dense are they.
Right. Okay. Well, so you cast it. You would have only caught one anyway.
That's fine.
So you cast it back behind you. One of the stone kobolds sort of just incinerates and goes up in flames, and then you duck down into the crowd of kobolds.
Okay, and then
Just to like double over.
so I will use my regular movement just to move 30 feet in.
Okay. That'll get you kind of to the back of the line is
That's
where that's
fine.
going to get you.
There you go. Nobody can see them.
Okay.
Skyrim logic.
Poke.
Killian.
So Brandon, you got me 30 feet in.
So he's right at the
Yeah,
edge of the
You're
of
at
the
300, yes.
Okay. So I have seen Lars get hit by an arrow.
multiple
A
arrows.
couple.
Yes.
I have seen multiple times the general dude stop arrows from hitting him.
Yes.
Have I been able to tell where the arrows are coming from?
Make a perception check.
Oh. Not only is Steven's second character
Unnatural
gonna die, he's
20.
gonna die by Killian.
I
They're
assume.
acquainted.
Yeah, I assume
We've
you
met.
haven't.
Oh, that's
well, you
right,
haven't
that's
been
right, I
taking the
forgot.
hide action,
No.
so yeah. So you sort of look back over, and there's a familiar horse with a familiar dwarf and a familiar bow. Pulling back, getting ready to loose again,
Oh, and a shadow.
and a shadow, a vaguely bird-like shadow.
I am going to try and put myself in between Lars and him so that he sees me.
Like,
Okay.
He's like, no.
Okay.
knock
It
it
is
off
Wolf
with the
Killian.
shooting and the
Killian.
things.
Volk hasn't even made it to the
Okay,
kobolds
okay.
yet.
So have you made it up to use your 30 feet to just get there?
Well, I don't know how far I need to move, but
30 feet you'd be able to put yourself on a line between Mars.
okay. So I just want to. I want to get in there so that like I can try and see Mal, so I can be like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fine.
So after doing that,
Just a happy moment.
Make me a persuasion roll,
okay.
and just take this number into
How
account.
persuasive does people?
Well, if he's like.
I won't make you oppose it, but just keep
17.
17. So just keep that number in mind when we get around to you.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna look for the weakest. Like, where does the human line look the weakest?
There's this gap where
Yeah, I wouldn't have any idea that that's Zorgan.
so there's this gap where this guy was sort of standing at the front lines, freaking out, and the kobold in front of him gets a crossbow bolt in the back, falls down, and he sort of looks off at something. That's Simi. He sort of nods at her, steps back, and pulls two soldiers in front of him, and that's the
How
weakest
is it?
spot.
Okay, I'm going to draw my swords and head over there.
Okay.
Well, how far away from Lars and the general am I if I move up to the line to?
You don't have enough movement to actually get all the way there.
That's not true. I can use my bonus
Well,
action to
okay.
move 40 feet.
Is about 50 feet or so from them. The line has sort of been pushed back and compressed in around them.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and move up to that gap then and draw my swords and
Okay.
join the line there to try and hold it.
All right. So, see me? Where Zoigan was, you see
Killian now
Killian
is
walk up
dun,
and he
dun,
pulls
dun,
pulls two swords
dun,
and sort of
dun.
fills the gap where Zoigan was.
He's gonna kill Zoigan.
And it is now your turn. Actually, actually no.
I'll point out Zoigan is no longer there because he grabbed 2 soldiers and threw them in front of him.
That is not true. Roll a d6.
Rage in Simi's eyes.
4. Okay.
It's my rage face. I'm really bad at it.
It seems like it almost seems like your presence in the line sort of bolsters the human side of things, and they're able to push back a little bit. Some of the gaps start to close up where thrusts had been pushing in. The gap leading towards Lars sort of fills in. The gap where you are starts to fill in as you push forward. Akarai takes down the one he's been fighting and sort of leads a little contingent of the army forward to push the kobolds back.
I know we're in this.
And now it's your turn.
And okay, go. The only person whose agenda I don't have a
moving?
problem with. Yet.
Will you move up?
I am going to move up. I'm trying to decide how I want to do this.
You're at 2.
I don't have a problem with my agenda. It's just how I'm getting there.
I mean, to be fair, that's kind of everybody's
Same
agenda at
as-
the moment. I'm like, I don't actually have that big a problem with your agenda. Just not right now.
I can tell
You don't get a say in this group.
that he is on the side that I am fighting for, right?
He
Killian?
who? Yes.
Right, he's trying to save the people.
So I'm
behind
not
him,
going
so.
to attack him right now.
He must not
I am going to
You thought
attack
Killian was
later.
fighting with the kobolds?
She didn't know. You vanished.
That's
You
fair.
up and left.
That's fair.
You got up and danced away without the dancing part. But yes, she has no idea what to think of you at this moment, other than that she is going to attack you once it's safer to do so for everybody else involved. So she is going to probably kind of split the difference between. Well, I guess I won't be able to get all the way up to the front, but she's going to run, not below a key point, but go ahead and dash.
Okay.
All the way up.
So
as
that
far
should
as
give
I
you
can.
80 feet, right?
Yeah, but I'm still not all the way there, right?
Killian's so great at that.
You've only
That's
moved your
better
movement
now.
so far, and you're 100 feet away from the back line.
I'm 100 away
Not
okay,
just
from the
that.
back.
So if she moves 80 using her movement and her dash action,
I don't want to blow another key point unless I need it.
240.
so you're still about
You're
60
60
feet
feet
from
away.
the back of the line.
So I'm gonna arrange myself so that I can create more of a frontline situation, like in between where he is now and where Akarai is. I'm gonna try and create a little bit more of a push back.
Okay, so you're sort of coming into the back of the stone kobolds then. Okay.
As I'm coming in, can I see any kind of environmental anything that I can use against the ones behind the front lines of the kobolds? Like any sort of, like, can I create some sort of an avalanche if I were to shoot something, or...
Unite them.
Make me a perception check.
Let's just take them all out.
Oh, that wasn't great. 12?
You get a
You're not
D4.
really seeing
Oh,
it.
yeah,
Um,
D4.
Don't you have inspiration?
Oh, I do have inspiration. What am I doing?
And bless.
And what is bless? Oh!
A D4.
Okay, so that's going to be a 21.
21.
Woo!
Okay. It's fairly obvious that these stone kobolds don't know a hill of beans about trees. They came up out from around the roots of these trees, and several of them sort of fell over and are leaning against each other precariously.
Light the trees on fire.
And the stone kobolds are fighting underneath these things. So if you were able to do it just right, you could get a couple of these trees to fall in their lines and take out probably half of them on this side of the army and open a path for the human army to retreat.
Since I have just moved my full movement, I am going to yell out as a free action. Aim for the trees.
Aim for the tree!
Okay.
Job.
Terrible idea.
All
The
right.
entire human army. What?
Excuse me?
I guess like anybody towards the back that I could see that had like
Bees knees.
bow and arrow that would be like
Griff, that is actually going to bring us to you. So if you want to do anything with that
aim
information,
for the trees.
let us
My feet
know.
fly with the breeze.
While you're getting back to us on that, Milo.
It's a terrible.
Oh no, they've got fleas.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm sorry, not Milo. Volk.
Volk is going to continue running until he gets to the kobolds that he wants to kill.
Okay.
You'll get there next turn.
What?
Okay.
She's gonna attack the trees.
Attack the trees. How you attacking the trees?
Damn trees.
Let us know.
Kill them all.
Sacred flame.
So Milo.
I'll keep going for a while.
Bonfire.
Okay. You keep moving forward, and
Do it.
Ingir.
Do
I love
it.
that I actually thought
Do
you were a
it.
magic user because of how often you try to
Make me a perception
only
check
mage
because
can do
Zoigan has
that.
actually kind of melted back into the crowd a little bit.
do that. We're gonna have a conversation about his cowardice leader.
Not
He'll just
necessarily
use his
cowardice,
action.
he doesn't
He
have
will
a
just
weapon.
use his movement to
Okay, that's
go forward.
I'm sure that there is a plethora
Okay, so
of
where do you
weapons
want him to
available at
finish?
this
Because
point.
he's going to be.
So he can get to Lars if he uses all of his stuff, but I want him to not do that yet because then he will be there and not be able to do anything. So.
Okay.
And how many hit points does Ingir have?
4?
Make me his stealth check.
One stray arrow.
And I guess he'll just use his action to hide, I guess.
Hammering all over again.
Yep, Mal, I think you missed.
I didn't even hit anything, but something just died.
You just see this little of red smoke.
I don't remember the last time that happened.
No. So Griff, you can still see Zoigan in the line. He is right behind Killian at this point.
Protect me, Squire.
Okay, so you'll use your mace to attack some of the trees. Okay. Make your attack roll, and you'll have advantage because trees.
You'll have advantage because trees.
Trees.
And then just give me, and then
The ends with like
once,
a word.
go ahead and roll your damage as well, and give me all of those rolls at once, and we'll figure out what happens from there. Okay, so
Tree beards.
what was his stealth?
9.
Okay.
Steps on the bonfire.
Yeah.
Treebeard says no.
No.
Only
Yeah, it's
I
not-
can
it's
prevent
not bad.
forest fires.
I love it so much. I'm just having you guys at the
There's-
table.
At this point, it's taking me so long to run up there. As much as I want to try and kill
I
Lars,
really
there's no
I really
way.
imagine that. Like,
There's no way. Even if I do, I'm gonna be surrounded by an entire army who could turn on me.
at the end of this, he's just gonna stop like.
Yeah, at this
Okay.
point,
Nice.
I'm still not even within range to Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
Is that you telling Steven that you're leaving it to him?
I don't know what I'm telling you.
So,
I'm telling you, I'm telling you, if I do this, there's a good % that I would die.
How much do you trust Gideon?
So a
No.
couple things happen.
I bet it does.
All
Yeah, okay.
The question is, would they find a flying mini dragon evil
So
or
you already did your thing.
So he's gonna take out.
Okay, I'm gonna come back to that, Griff. So hold that thought. Cabbage, go ahead.
Oh, it's my turn?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm moving.
Okay.
It's always so exciting.
All right. Go ahead, Nat, and roll me a d6 real quick.
Yep.
You're 30 feet away from the back line, by the way.
Sweet. 5.
5. Okay. So it looks like the red kobolds are starting to lose ground again. Their line is starting to fray. There's gaps, great big gaps in it, where the stone, the inner circle of stone kobolds and the outer ring are starting to join up and cut off different units of the fire kobolds. So it's starting to not look good for them. Mao.
Switching targets.
Okay.
I'm shooting the mage.
Okay.
Don't tell him that's smart. That's not smart.
I think it's smart.
Ugh.
All right, 15.
Okay.
I mean, Walter might die, but,
Okay.
you know,
Uh,
probably gonna have many.
23.
Him, I'm worried about
Okay.
him killing
Natural
the
20
mage.
for 25.
Why do
Okay.
we want the fire mage
We don't want.
Seriously? So two natural
I need to
20s.
talk to
One,
him.
your natural 20 is canceled out. The 20
knows
whatever
stuff
is
that I need
canceled
to
out.
know.
And the
Wow.
15 gets through.
Okay.
Of all times to roll 20s.
So he will take 4 points of damage.
Okay.
Because so far the party.
And then roll a d6.
6.
Okay. Seems like the battle is sort of entering a stalemate phase. The red kobolds are still kind of in a bad way, but they're not able they're still holding off the brown and gray kobolds. So this round it seems like it's more of a stalemate. All right, so a few things happen kind of at the same time here.
Oh boy.
From behind you guys, you hear this massive, like, crack of metal hitting on wood as Mizuki hauls out her mace and swings at one of these trees that's precariously balanced.
All Mizuki has to do is go, bink!
And the trees start to collapse onto the lines of kobolds and humans, honestly, too, at this point, because everyone's all kind of mashed up together. The general and Lars have taken arrows from one of their flanks, and the red kobolds are sort of getting... They're getting the short end of the battle at this point. So you see the general reach over, grab a hold of Lars, and the two of them disappear in a flash of fire, leaving their immolated horses behind.
Oh.
Oh.
Bastards.
Oh, please tell me you've got like counter spell or something.
I have to see. Nope, I don't.
Bonfire?
Okay, nothing I can do.
Damn it.
I needed to talk to them.
Well, they're still alive.
Maybe.
I'm sad about that.
That's a dick move.
Can't blame me for this one, so can't blame
Make
for
me a
this
dex save. For Killian.
Okay.
Who all else? You'll need to make a dex save.
Those are the only two within the ranks.
Dex.
19.
Okay.
22.
Okay, you guys are fine. You hear this crack of metal on wood and see the trees start to fall, and you're able to sort of shimmy your way out of the path of the falling trees. Akerai is able to get out of the way.
Good.
Zoigan is not. And what you see of Zoigan is he's sort of standing there as this
Oh, geez.
enormous cedar tree sort of
Does it crush him?
comes down and obscures him from
Keith.
view.
Can I fail to save Zoigan?
If you would like.
I would like to.
What do you mean fail to save?
I am failing my deck save to make sure to get Zoigan
so with that you're able to grab this guy that is completely useless. You don't know why he was in this army.
Don't know him from Adam.
Don't
and
know
I'm
him from
gonna throw him out of
Adam.
the
You
way.
put a hand on him and just sort of fling him out of the way. And as you do, you feel the boughs of this cedar tree crash into you from behind and pin you to the ground.
Can you bonfire it?
Just like the tree on fire on top of him.
You, sir, are a one-trick pony.
Over here, let me get you out of there.
So
You know
it just like
I-
knocked Killian down?
It just knocked Killian
Well,
down.
does it knock me down, or do I go underneath it?
Is he under the branches or is he under the tree?
He's under the branches, but it's still going to knock you down
Yes,
because
dry
it's
or
fairly
tinder.
thick and
That's fine.
heavy. But so it'll knock you down. It'll pin.
so it doesn't all go in on you.
It'll knock you down. It'll pin you down. You are prone. You are.
Okay.
We'll say grappled for the purposes of mechanics, but you're pinned under this tree.
He's
Um,
injured?
What?
You can't tell that from where you
Why
are
did I do
because he is obscured from
I
view
know
by
that
the
Zoigan
tree.
has something to do with Simi.
But did you know that was Zoigan?
No?
No.
No, but he saw them interacting.
I saw Simi
Um,
save his life from across the army,
I'm like, ooh,
so...
this must be important.
So the
Important is a strong word.
He's a freaking god!
at this point the scene dissolves into utter chaos. The fire kobolds are overwhelmed. The human army, seeing their leadership just vanish, is starting to
Retreat.
retreat.
Eastward?
They're retreating northward through the gap that has been formed by the falling trees. So they're heading your direction. The stone kobolds are putting all of their energy into taking down their cousins, the red kobolds, and they're letting the humans go.
Huh.
I am trying to pinpoint where they are, where Lars and the general are. If I can see another flame pinprick where they pop back in, that's what I'm doing.
I'd like to get myself out from under this tree.
Make an athletics check.
I am on my way over to you thinking that you are probably massively injured because it kind of looks like that would have been what happened.
I'm on my way there too. Punch me in the face.
Yeah, that too.
We are going to fall out of initiative at this point. So.
This tree is not going to murder you. I will!
Okay, that'll be 17.
17. You'll be able to pull yourself out from under all of the limbs and branches and pull yourself out.
Okay, me and Inger have a quest.
Pleasant enough.
I would like to find the Earth Kobold General or whatever, a chief,
Okay.
At your table.
and have a conversation.
Well,
As I am the
Okay.
paragon of water, have a discussion with him.
So
he might be a little busy.
Right, but I mean,
make me an insight check first.
be an insight check.
Keith, while he's doing that, Killian's heading over to where they immolated from,
Uh-huh.
and I am
Oh,
searching the
no.
ground. Well, I'm probably going to get intercepted, but
Yeah.
that's where Killian's headed.
Okay.
That's where I'm headed to.
Okay. You're not able to pick out the general. All right.
before you have a chance to get out from under the branches, there is suddenly a Simi just going like on top of you. She picks you up, just like slaps you really hard across the face. And are you hurt?
Am I? How badly am I hurt?
Surprised
There's
you
a
didn't punch
tree
him.
branch sticking out of your chest.
Say Zorgan.
8 points of bludgeoning damage.
I'm fine.
I'm gonna punch him in the face.
Killian's just gonna stand there and let you.
So you get advantage.
Okay, so and Griff's Mizuki is going to be looking for her retainers. You'll be able to gather them up in short order. Lost a couple of them, but on the whole, because they were towards the middle around Lars, they seem to have done okay.
I thought you were gonna say we're immolated.
I'm going to kick the tree off of you to help you get up, and then when you get up again, I am going to smack you in the face once more, but it is going to heal you.
Killian hasn't taken any damage.
Oh, did you not take any of...
Killian had a bunch of temporary hit points that he was building up over the course of the battle.
Oh.
Killian's actual hit points haven't been touched.
Never mind. So she still doesn't know she
By
can
the
heal
time the
people.
tree fell on him, Killian had like 36 temporary hit points or something.
Heroism.
Gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha.
I learned the last time Killian got into a melee fight that I should probably make sure I have more temporary hit points.
Where did you go?
That is a very good question, and I would be happy to answer it, but first I need to go. He's going to point at the horse carcasses over there and look around before anything happens to what's going on over there.
She starts to argue, and then, like, seeing how ridiculous everything is going to crap around us, will kind of, like, she'll start to rear back to hit you again, and then, fine.
So the whole time Killian will not make eye contact with you. And he's going to, unless anyone else is going to accost him on his way over there,
I'm gonna get up there.
Killian's going to...
Cabbage has made it up. She
Mhm.
watched Simi
Yep.
throw you around a little bit. And she's just gonna stare at you.
Okay. Keith, I
He's
would
never
like
gonna
to
be able work with us
find
again.
any scraps of cloth, blood on the ground, anything that I think is from Lars or the general that I don't think is too deteriorated by the fire.
Make an investigation check.
I'm gonna
Bloody
keep
arrow?
looking.
I'm riding to
Bloody
the
arrow?
road.
Just let me know.
Yeah,
if I
like a
need
bloody
to roll
arrow
I'm
or
taking up-
anything.
We're on the main road here, right?
Yeah.
I am riding out along the road,
Okay.
away from town.
So you're riding west.
Yep.
Okay.
So you'd be crossing through the armies.
But I would go around. But
Okay.
I'm just headed to the
Well,
road.
so the human army was on the road.
The east. They were on the west side?
They were on the
They were
road, and you
on
were
the road.
approaching them from the east
From the
side of
east.
the army.
Oh, okay.
So to keep going west, you'd
I
have to go
follow.
through the nonsense.
And the human army is moving off to the north.
And I believe you knew that all these guys were here.
And
I
the
probably do now. Yeah.
the bulk of the fighting, the bulk of the kobold on kobold fighting is happening sort of from the road south.
Okay. So maybe I'll circle north and head towards the road. I'm going to try to circle the fighting because I suspect that they're going to have to be on the road.
Does he see the rest of us?
It doesn't matter because I was looking for Lars and the general.
23 to find
23.
anything.
Yes. So there is a tiny little flap of fabric that looks like it was punched. One of the arrows that missed
Mm-hmm.
went through one of his poofy sleeves and took a bit of the
Nice.
fabric with it,
Oh, good.
and sort of impaled itself in a tree by the side of the road.
Okay. Killian's going to go over to it and pull the piece of fabric off, and he's going to pull his hummingbird out of his bag of holding
Okay.
and hold it up to it so that it can do its little thing. Be like, find me the person who was wearing this last.
Okay.
And then he's just going to send it off.
Okay. Remind me how that mechanically works.
Mechanically, assuming that it's a good enough description of, or like a good enough trail to follow, because we did this last time showing it a picture of the tower, the hummingbird will just go off tracking down whatever it is, and then it will come back to me and tell me where it went to find it.
Okay, but it takes time.
Yeah, it takes time, but assuming that this is in good enough condition, it should eventually be able to find them and come back and let me know.
Cool.
So
it goes zoop,
Yep.
and zips out of sight.
Something important. These guys are clear of the fighting immediately, right?
Yes.
Yeah. The fighting is sort of melting away from them in both directions, north and south.
That's why I was wondering if you saw.
Well, it's not so much
Gotcha.
fighting to the north, it's just
That's where the
Fleeing.
people are running.
the human army in retreat, and then the fighting is moving off to the south with
Okay,
the
if they are clear of the fighting and I can see them clearly, then I would probably at least call out before riding. Checking the road, and I will then head up and around as best I can.
Oh, smell.
Okay.
Everybody's showing up, apparently.
I mean, you knew I was coming.
Did I?
I don't think
Yeah.
they did.
So yeah,
I
you
told
would see Mal.
Mizuki that I was
Mizuki.
sending you.
And Mizuki
Mizuki has not told anyone else about any of that, so I don't
So
think they knew.
We
you were
also
coming.
didn't notice she had been in contact with him, so I don't think we heard any of that.
Yeah.
Got it.
Killian,
Castian.
nice of you to finally join us.
It wasn't done purpose.
It wasn't really my plan, but it's good to see you guys. Glad to see you're all alright.
Dare you?
Wish I could say the same.
That's
I'm still
understandable.
looking for.
Yeah.
Where-
The battle is sort of moving off
Are
away
you
from you
are
guys.
you going through
Mizu is gonna follow Mal.
Ingir, or are you actually like walking around looking?
Me and
for
Ingir were hoping to find maybe like a Cobalt General or something to have a discussion with, but it looks like they've gone. So
Is the human army out of eyesight from us?
More or less. I mean, there's a few stragglers, but they're not looking towards you guys. They're moving away.
Is Zoigan and Akrai, are they close by? Have
Yeah.
they fled with everyone, or are they staying close by? to
No,
us?
when they realized you guys were sticking around, they stayed close.
We need to get out of Dodge first, and then we'll handle.
Sticky note because you're here.
I haven't delivered that message yet.
Yeah, I know that.
We will handle reintroductions later, but we should get to safety first, and not be right next to this. And it's just like a gesture
The battling armies.
Fair enough.
Okay, let's.
So Mal, make me a perception check real quick.
She wants her horse back.
Okay. So as you're riding along,
Get
He
maced.
wants the horse.
so as you're riding along, you're oblivious for a long moment until a female hand reaches out and grabs the reins out of your hands. And you turn and look, and it's Lady Mizuki.
That does not belong to you, sir.
And I will let you guys
Okay,
handle
Alma.
that interaction.
No,
Back
Steven
channel
got caught.
off camera between sessions. We won't take up time here at the table. I imagine that back and forth will take a little bit by text. So I'll let you guys handle that. Just be sure you loop me in on it so I know what's happening.
So I'm gonna run as fast as I can, I guess, out to where they are up ahead on the road,
Okay.
and try and follow them till we, I guess, get to a safer spot to
Okay.
kind of, I guess, pull down for a rest and recouping.
Okay. You guys travel westward along the road for probably
When you're 5 feet
Probably-
clear, one.
2 or 3
Yes.
miles
Oh, we're leaving? Okay.
before
Dang
you
it. I was gonna
before
do
you
something,
pull
but that's
off
fine.
to the side and find a spot to sort of hunker down and catch your breath
I mean, you
after
don't
the
have to
events of
come
the
with.
day.
Or you could
What
do
are you
something
doing?
before we leave. I mean, I was
No,
not-
it's just too late.
attached to it being right then if you had something you were in the middle of.
Yeah, whatever.
Is there something you wanted to do?
Do you need
It's
some alone
stupid,
time?
so ignore it.
What did you want to do?
I was gonna see if there were any kobolds that might have like a +1 wand or something like that. But it's stupid.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
And let's just
Whoa, whoa.
continue.
Are you looting the bodies?
Yes.
Am just picking through reptile corpses?
Might as well. See what
Like,
you got.
I mean, I couldn't find any. Look, I don't do much. I just talk to things.
I mean, it makes
I don't do
sense.
much either, so.
All right, so let's do this. Make me
You create
make
a
me
lot
an
of
investigation
bonfires.
check.
9.
9.
Mhm.
That's not enough, my friend. I don't.
Oh,
Um,
you know, you don't say.
Never would have guessed.
Never would have guessed. That's why I said let's move
Roll
on.
me percentile.
73.
No, that is not enough. You were not able to find anything.
Yeah, I just seen if I can find something useful, but too much. All right, and then I'll follow the rest of the group.
How
Okay.
about the rock kobolds flying before swinging at
straight line of
people?
sight.
Yeah, I just seen if I could find anything useful, but I guess not.
Okay, so you guys move a couple of miles up the road. It's
If we go more than half a mile, Killian's gonna stop. Again, he's not willing to make eye contact with anyone and really awkwardly be like, before we go that far away, I need to go back and bury the bodies.
All of the bodies?
All of them, yes.
Excuse me, what?
I'll start heading back,
It's-
knowing now I
it's-
have more time to look.
It's just something I'm gonna need to do if we're going to be going that far away. I want to do it before the scavengers come.
Wouldn't it be easier to cremate them?
Bonfire! You and freaking bonfire.
one trick pony. I'm telling you guys.
That's all I got.
It's not all you got! You're a rogue! You can
That's-
stab things!
That's actually not a half bad idea.
Yeah, let me stab the corpse. See what that does.
So I'm not trying to run off on all of you again, but it is something I need to do.
We're staying with him, aren't
Yep.
we?
Why?
That was a 17 insight. I know what's going on.
Because it's the right thing to do to honor their lives.
Yeah, I understand what's going on.
Like you did for Alma.
No, not like I did for Alma. That's why I need to go do it for them.
I start back that direction ahead of you.
I had to say it.
And I'm just gonna I just grab Akurai's arm and Zoigan's arm and point them.
Like a mother.
Like, you're coming with us.
So Killian at least is going to go back and start
I think you're in a
gathering up all of the
I
dead
think you're in a
and
there
setting them to rest
are-
and closing their
Does that
eyes.
include the kobolds?
Yes,
There are
I'm pretty sure. It's
I know. I know.
there's probably
The one
close to
that's like
1,500
my
dead
adult
bodies
child.
spread across the ground.
I assume,
Godchild.
this may not be true, I was assuming that after they sort of regrouped, I was going to see if any of the people who from the army who went north come back to do anything similar, or are they just
It
gone?
depends on what army.
Like, that's what I didn't know, is after they regrouped, how many of those people were also going to come back to deal with dead bodies and scavenge for stuff.
They were pretty well demoralized. You
Okay.
don't think they're coming back.
Okay.
If I get an opportunity, I will once again search and have Inger assist me this time.
Go for it. Go forth and search, my
So
friend.
for each body, Killian's gonna set it on its back. He's gonna put their hands clasped and close their eyes and sort of clean them up and like if any of their gear is askew. Yeah, I know. Like that's the thing is it's gonna take a really freaking long time, but he's gonna try and like get each of them set, and he's gonna be like, a bonfire's actually not the worst idea. So he'll start pulling them all together so that he can start a fire.
Guess I'll help. Yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing.
14.
And I'm gonna say a little prayer to the God of Justice, who's not.
Who's right over there?
It's like, hey Zoig.
So you say that out loud.
I'm sorry, buddy.
That you're gonna say something to the God of Justice and then yell at Zoigan. Is that out loud?
Gosh dang it.
I do say that I would say a prayer to the God of Justice.
What, you say that out loud?
I would say that part out loud.
I mean, he's right there. You just talk to him.
So that would be the first time from across the clearing, Killian's head shoots up and he actually looks over at you guys. What did you just say?
I woke up. He was there.
I don't think you owe him explanations right now.
Wait,
Yeah.
You're the God of Justice, or the former holder of said position?
Guilty?
He kind of forgot, apparently.
Yeah,
how-
he lost touch with him being the God of Justice, so he got demoted.
Wait, demoted. So what does that make you now?
Mortal?
You know, they kind of could have used your help. Kind of could have maybe helped keep things in check, rein people in.
What do you mean?
Your siblings.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Yeah, I mean, maybe if you hadn't lost touch with your justice, you might have been able to step in for the God of Balance who's missing.
Do you see all the stuff that happened today? We kind of need a God of Justice at the helm.
I mean, do you even still technically hold the position, or do we just have an empty position up there? Because I've been told that's a very bad thing.
I mean... I think I kind of still have a tenuous hold on it,
Oh, good.
but it's... Yeah, it's fragile.
Like many things up there, I imagine, right now.
Yeah.
Well, at least you're still alive.
Yeah, and that was touch and go there for a minute. Thank you for that, by the by.
How much do you remember?
And it's all kind of hazy.
Great. Okay.
Some things are crystal clear, some things are not so much.
You wouldn't happen to, I don't know, have any idea where Dunos went off to way back when? Or know anything about a catastrophe in the air that's going to happen eventually?
Sorry, no.
Okay, so about the same as everyone else.
Not the most helpful, sorry.
To be fair, none of them are. So,
Take it you've met more then.
yeah. We had a chat.
Went that well, did it?
There's a really good reason why the world is in the state it's in. And it's because some people kind of dropped
Everybody
the
looks
ball
over.
and were too busy fighting amongst themselves to pay any attention to what was actually going on.
Hmm. Carry on about the work for a moment. I'm gonna have a chat with Zoigan. I'm still gonna have a nice long chat with you too.
I'm sure.
Mr. Volk, do you have a drink?
Volk is not here.
Oh, he left?
Volk would have wound up going off with everybody else because he was not
okay,
with
okay.
you guys, because as soon as he got close enough, he veered off to deal with killing kobolds.
Oh, fair enough.
So he's still fighting.
Like he's just.
There's
still,
a
like,
not there's a fairly reasonable chance he is still fighting
I kind of
kobolds,
love
yes.
that idea. I'm not gonna lie.
In which case, he didn't go north.
All right, he
He
would have
went
gone
south.
south to keep fighting kobolds.
Okay, so much for that drink.
I am going to grab Zoigan's arm and pull him over to one of the bodies as I help like arrange it and whatnot. I'm just gonna like make up a story to go along with this person. And it's like, you need to understand the value of the people that are lost when you're out of whack. And just like tell a story about this person and their life and like
Which is a complete fabrication and lie. But
yeah, and I'm not even gonna pretend that it's not like this person could be, and insert neighbor here. Like I'm gonna take him over to another one and be like, this person could be Simi. Like just start kind of going through the stories of the lives that these people had and how this is not their just end. And pretty much try to shame the god of justice.
Former god justice.
Make me a persuasion
Oh,
check.
that's gonna go great. I have a -1, but I have a lot of inspiration still. So we
Persuasion
can
or intimidation?
Huh?
Persuasion or intimidation?
I don't think either of those is great.
Mm.
Yeah, both of them are the same. We're gonna
do you
see
come back and join us?
what we get.
That's up to Keith.
Oh, that's a freaking nat 20.
Because we're gonna
And
be
I'm
here
not
for a
going to get
while.
higher than that, even though it's actually a 19 because I have a -1. So,
Okay.
you know,
Basically,
we're just going to
riding the road.
stop blowing them there.
All right. You can kind of coming back to you guys. You can definitely tell that what you're saying is having an impact.
Good.
For what do you? Well,
So basically, the two of us just rode to the road so that we'd have a clear line of sight of the road.
They're checking the road for our
Okay.
2 runaways.
Yeah.
you
If they're
don't
not there, then we'll circle back around.
see, yeah, you don't see them.
Where the rest of us are. I don't know if everyone's helping, but Killian at least is burying bodies.
I thought we were
Burying
stacking
and
them.
burning
Stacking
bodies.
and burning, yeah. Come on.
All the above.
A little bit of whatever we can do.
A little
to
bit
make
of
it faster
A,
job, I suppose.
a little bit of B. Okay.
So,
Hi, Mal.
Hi, Mal.
this is awkward. So you told your story?
Nope. Haven't gotten that far yet.
Okay, that's your story though.
That's fine.
Because I probably will forget things, omit details.
In my defense, I didn't actually realize that we were headed the same place last time we left.
You could have rode with me, made it a little faster. Well, maybe
I
not.
don't know, I made pretty good time.
I mean, you're here. So,
Well, that was cute.
what?
Nice little back and forth. I assume you two have met.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he sent me with a message for you, but... Well,
Mm.
he's here now, so...
But we unknowingly arrived at the same time. It's a long story. Do you want me to start now or later?
You've never heard Cabbage this quiet.
So, I'm gonna, like, go move bodies over there.
Mal, do you have a drink?
Come on.
A good drink that we could.
You don't need to turn into an alcoholic.
This is a very tense situation.
Un poquito.
So he'll pull out one of his jars.
You get a quarter of a finger.
He'll pull
There is
out
no
one of
fountain.
his jars
Which finger? This finger?
that is from home. So one of his better ones, since he had his full equipment there.
Okay.
And he'll pull out just a sliver.
This isn't that god awful stuff, is it?
No,
I'm just gonna.
it's really, really strong though.
Perfect.
And he'll give you a little bit more than
I'm
that.
gonna shoot it.
Anyone else before I get away from all the awkward?
I'm good.
Awkward kind
Where's
of
Volk?
follows.
Where's who?
Oh no. Oh
He's
no.
probably fighting still. I don't know.
Damn it.
I'm guessing we haven't seen him in a while.
I'm gonna go find Volk.
Would you like a drink?
Be careful. If he's still...
He's just gonna take a swig straight from it this time.
So Mal, around sort of the edges of the battlefield, black forms are starting to descend upon the bodies. Black bird-like forms that are eerily reminiscent of certain chapters in your history.
Is that something
seeing
only he
this?
sees, or to all of us?
Oh, you all see the
Yeah, no,
birds descending.
It's the crows and the carrion. It's
Okay.
Yeah,
the
it's
animals coming
It's
to...
the
Oh,
the
it's
carrion
the
starting.
bodies.
Yeah, the carrion eaters starting to come in, but yes.
I think I might go fight too. Bye.
What?
Are you not going to tell us your story?
Don't go fight for too long.
Yep.
If you're not back in...
We got 1,500 bodies. I mean, it's gonna
20
be a while.
minutes.
If you're not back to check in 20 minutes, I'm coming after you.
Okay.
So, story now, story later.
First, well, it's not going to be enough. I would like an apology. Because as far as I was concerned that day, the two closest people to me in the world died. And because I'm a very awkward person, I'm going to clarify that yes, you are in that number.
I do not have the words to express how sorry I am. But in a way, you are right. Both of those people did die that day.
You weren't the only person grieving.
No, I was not. But I was the only one who didn't know what to do with it. And I did whatever I thought was best at the time, which clearly wasn't. I did not come here to rub salt in that wound. I did not mean to run into any of you today. If I had known that that's where I was going, I wouldn't have come. Because I am not ready to deal with all of this or what I did to any of you yet. And you can hate me if you like, that is perfectly fair and understandable.
Do we have a short rest about him this time?
Not while you guys are dealing with
Warlock
bodies.
wants
no.
his spell slots back.
Doo-dah.
Doo-dah.
While he's talking, I'm randomly casting bonfire to get the bodies going.
Okay.
So.
Story time.
Where do you want me to start?
How about when you walked out?
So I don't really remember much from about, I don't even know how long.
It's fair, me too.
I know I walked really far, and I didn't really eat or sleep or anything like that. I remember collapsing in a ditch, and I remember crying out to anything that would listen. And a couple things answered. And one of them was one of the old gods. And so I asked them some questions about what had happened and what it was all for. And I got an answer that I think makes sense to me. And from that point on, I started trying to put together what I should do. There's not a lot that I really did. I just set up a camp, prayed a lot, learned a lot. Decided that I needed to make my life mean something instead of just existing or doing whatever I thought was good. And then I went and met with Mal because I saw that he and Draxus and the other dwarves were headed to the tomb in the Changeling Cave. And I went through that with them. And we found the body of the prince and recovered some things. I'll let Mal explain it. He has the right to discuss exactly what we found there. And then after that, I wanted to track down some kobolds to talk to them. And that's when I wound up being here, where all of you are.
What else answered?
Well, whatever your thing is a part of.
Right.
Whatever that thing is, the one that is for answered.
Oh.
That would be air.
And I didn't like what it had to say.
What did it have to say?
That the point of life was family. I like that. And unity. That makes sense. But when I asked it whether there was a plan or what we should do with our lives, all it told me was it wants to be united back together. So it didn't really answer me. And apparently this thing is what our gods are.
Oh, goodness.
What our gods are, it is from another world. And it's stuck here. And it wants to be put back together. And I don't know if that's a good thing to do or a bad thing to do. All I know right now is it doesn't belong here.
So what did the old gods say that made sense?
Life is what we make of it. And it's up to each of us to choose whether our life is something that makes the world a better place or not. And when I think of people who made the world a better place around them, I think of Alma.
I mean, that part's debatable. That's Danny's saying that. Simi's eyes well up a little bit when you say that. And she kind of like looks at you as though she is just going to explode with anger.
Killian won't make eye contact with you.
She's gonna walk over to you and like lift your face so that your eyes meet hers. And she, like, just tears are starting to stream down her face. And she's just gonna look at you and say, "You weren't the only one who didn't know what to do with it. You left."
Yep.
And then, like, she's just going to wrap you in a ridiculously tight, stupid hug. And sob.
Oh, that means I can't burn him.
But when she realizes that she's doing that, she is going to like break away and then just start to pummel you with punches, but they are not going to be like the super damaging punches. They're going to be I am throwing a temper tantrum punches. And she's just gonna like be talking nonsense. Like, wasn't even sure for months how like real things were, like all the things. Just saying.
You're just gonna word vomit?
Just word vomit
Stream of
at you.
consciousness.
Yeah, stream of consciousness, all kinds of strange, bizarre things coming out of my mouth that I probably haven't actually verbalized before. And probably don't make a lot of sense anyway, and she's just gonna waylay you with sharp but not damaging pummeling.
Would you like to use my dagger?
I have my own, thanks. That's a for the middle of the night kind of thing.
So Killian won't try and stop. Like he'll just sit there and let you.
About midway through this,
Sanctuary of Killian.
you find that
That's a
it
good
gets
call, White.
harder and harder to be able to actually throw those punches on Killian.
I'm so tired. Just kind of like collapse onto my knees, just sobbing.
Has Mal come back? Yeah, well, has it been our 20 minutes before we need to go check on?
I don't know. It depends on if he can drag Volk out of out of the fray.
First of all, make me a survival check to track Volk.
Oh, isn't he just like in the middle of the fighting?
The fighting,
The fighting
has
has moved on
moved
south.
on.
Like it's out of eyesight.
No.
Survival?
Yep.
That's a wisdom.
8.
You
Oh,
are,
you're proficient in survival?
Yeah.
you are not
I
able
have
to find
3
him.
proficiencies.
Better than I intended to.
So you are not able to find him.
Uh-oh.
He'll put his last 2 arrows into kobolds and then turn around.
Okay.
We
That's
lost
fine,
Volk.
All right. So right about the end of the 20 minutes, Mal comes traipsing back up to you guys.
Oh, am I supposed to make a wisdom save?
Only if you're gonna keep trying to attack me.
Mhm.
No, probably once it got hard, I would just kind of like
No.
collapse into tired mode because I wouldn't know why I was feeling tired.
So
Care to share now?
I couldn't find Volk.
I'm sure he'll be back.
Simi's just a freaking mess.
I shouldn't have given her the drink.
that wasn't the drink.
I'll take more.
Nope. We need to find Volk.
We lost Volk.
Who's Volk?
He's my friend.
Great, big, giant.
I'm sure he'll find us again.
If he's by himself fighting an army, which wouldn't surprise me necessarily, he might not find us or anyone else ever again. I think we need to extract him.
Okay, let's see what we can do.
But while we're walking, can you at least tell us what happened with your story then?
I decided to let you explain the tomb and what we found
Whoa, okay. Okay.
Yeah, explain everything he did. Leave me alone, bro.
Like, no, I
don't want to be in this.
yeah, so we found a tomb behind your fake wall. I mean, I guess it wasn't a fake wall, it was a real wall, but at the end of which we found some sort of staff that we believe correlates to the actual kingdom. And we found the it wasn't a sarcophagus, was it? It was more just like a
No,
Yeah,
it's a
it was a sarcophagus.
yeah, we found the sarcophagus of the, I guess he would have been emperor, not king, though, huh? Because it was an empire.
Emperor King.
Emperor. It
Tomato,
seems
potato.
like they kind of use those interchangeably.
Yeah. So the dwarven emperor. Although I don't really know whether or not it was him.
It wasn't a changeling body, was it? Yeah, okay. I remember that we checked that. I just didn't remember which way it went. That was...
And I believe you still have that.
Yep.
And then Draxus, oh, Mizuki, your horses. Draxus, the other 2 horses are going to be back in town shortly. Draxus has those.
Wait. Those weren't your horses?
They were borrowed.
So you didn't find a hammer, you found a staff?
It was not what fit for the
Okay, so it's maybe what people were talking about being a hammer. It's like a piece of a scepter, and I'm pretty sure it controls the defenses of the dwarven city.
Okay.
I don't think it could be part of a hammer if it was to be connected somehow to a head, but it.
I also don't know if maybe the stories about it being a hammer.
No.
Everyone talked about it being
under an unbroken geode. It doesn't fit. It's not right.
But that's not this hammer that we're talking about. That's the hammer of the guy who wrote your stories. Or not your stories. He wrote the entries that you found. The hammer everybody else was talking about was supposed to be this.
So Mizuki, when you said the word borrowed, she has a sudden coughing fit. She is also sort of. She will be filling Killian in on everything that has happened with her since he left.
It's the hammer that most people were looking for was supposed to be the prince's hammer, and it was supposed to be this really powerful magical weapon.
Prince Kaldane.
The thing we found might be what those stories are based on.
So the staff is what we were looking.
I think it's what everyone wanted. I think it's the key that lets you use the weapons the dwarves had in their city.
Okay.
And I'm holding on to it instead of Draxus because we were worried that someone might come after him again to get it. And given that I didn't plan on going back to town anytime soon, I figured I would be the hardest one to track.
And was there another thing, or was that it?
That was
the only thing we
I
found.
thought
was
I thought I heard
of
that you had
interest.
found something else, but that
I
Now,
don't think so.
I think
What?
I might have misheard.
why did it make the most sense for you to tell that part of the story?
I'm a dwarf.
Alright.
It has to do with my ancestors.
And we
Specifically, not generally.
And we found a lot of history there that I felt like he should be the one to discuss rather than me, because it's not my history.
Can I see the staff?
Yeah, and I will pull it out of my bag of holding.
Does anything happen to my form or anything like that?
No.
I'll just
That could have
I'll
got
just-
very interesting.
Yeah.
Your
I'll just take a look at it.
specific
Anything
ancestry.
that like resonates for me. Perhaps something I could use a history check on.
So
Those
as
are the noises in gear makes.
so
I wish I had inspiration to give you.
so at the bottom of it, there are an intricate set of grooves, both horizontal and horizontal and vertical,
Okay.
and they connect in a sort of serpentine pattern.
Okay.
So it looks like. So it's like one of those two-piece puzzles where you have to work out how to unlock it by twisting it in different directions.
Can I try and see? Like, I could try and unlock it like right now, or
There's.
or does
Is
it?
all you've got is a single piece.
Okay. it
We've
needs
got
something
the
else
piece
to fit
that
in.
then has to slot into something else.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Make an Arcana check.
That's cocked.
3.
Then no,
Man.
you don't notice anything else about this stuff.
Gosh dang it! I wish I had more proficiencies and things.
I have 3. I get it. Yeah.
So, since you apparently don't need to deliver my message,
Yep.
I have a favor to ask.
Of me.
Of
you.
Me?
Me. Oh. Okay.
What?
All right. Good luck.
What?
Nothing.
You asking favors now?
It's not for me. I can give you the whole big backstory if you really want it, or I can give you the short condensed version.
Start with the short condensed version.
In the Dwarven City, you're probably going to find another one of those shard things,
this part.
the Earth one.
Right.
I need you, when you find it, to one, don't do anything with it yet. Don't absorb it. Don't move it. Don't help it. I also need you to protect it from the other people who are looking for it right now. The long story short is these things have been here for a long time and we don't know if they're friendly to our existence or not. And I want to know more before we do anything with them. I'm inclined to help them get put back together so they can go back to wherever they come from.
Okay.
But no one seems to know for sure whether they're going to destroy the world if we do that. And I, for one, would like to find out before we do. So that was the favor I was going to have, and part of the message I was going to have Mal deliver was to ask you guys when you found it, because I know you'll want to put it back together like it asked you to hold off until we know more and we have a better idea of exactly what's going on and what needs to happen.
That's honestly reasonable. The whole thing kind of scares me.
I also know where the fire one is.
Well,
Oh.
don't we all know?
It's in a volcano.
Oh, you all know.
Oh, I assumed that it was the dude who was flinging fire.
Oh no, that's his job for that one.
It's my job for the what?
What you are to yours, I'm pretty sure that one is to the fire one.
I had an inkling.
And
Doesn't that mean that it's with the guy that flings the fire?
well,
Part of it.
Part of it. Or some
Oh,
of it.
I see.
Or I mean, I don't see him carrying around a giant blue shard heart thing that fills a whole room. So
But wait,
What do you mean, Phil?
The thing that was underneath.
Right.
you know where it is.
yeah, he knows where it is, but I
Yeah.
don't see him carrying the whole
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
around with him. So I'm assuming that's not.
Fair
You know.
enough. Fair enough.
You should give that back.
Well, don't we need it to...
You should give that back.
So are we going to meet you there then?
Oh, what? That depends.
Because I'm pretty sure you're not going to stay with us.
You are not leaving again.
To make him feel comfortable, we'll put it back in the bag for now, so nothing can see it.
I hesitate for a moment and then I hand it back to you. Just a small bit of distrust, but...
Whether or not I stay with you depends on what your plans are. So,
I-
okay, here's where we get into the long form version of this. So, however long ago when these things first showed up, like 10,000 years ago or something, when things started falling from the sky, the god of balance disappeared.
Okay.
This would be the time when all the gods stopped paying attention to what was going on and fighting amongst themselves. So we know where the fire is, we know where the earth is, we know where the water is. Nobody knows where the last one is.
All I know is that it's high on a mountain.
Well, given that these usually set off giant cataclysms, and there hasn't been one associated with it yet, it's somewhere and it hasn't gone off yet.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I gathered as well.
What?
I just hope that's not a home. Didn't Volk live in the mountains too?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm guessing that either the god of balance disappeared when these things showed up because he's containing them, stopping them, controlling them, whatever.
Okay.
Or someone or something took the opportunity that was presented to trap him somewhere to throw the gods into disarray, because every other god except for him has an opposite, an opposing force.
Okay.
They have spent the last, I don't even want to remember how long, fighting amongst themselves, as opposed to paying any amount of attention that was going on. They didn't even realize that whole cities had been destroyed thousands of years ago. So, part of the reason
Is it gone? Oh, is it going?
It's gone.
Oh, it's gone,
Oh no! Oh
The
no!
front gave out.
Stand. Hooray!
Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. Okay, we really. Oh gosh!
Twice now?
That was almost hilariously destructive.
Buddy?
So
You really have to
why
fix the
I want you to
chairs.
hold off doing anything with it is because, according to the gods, it's really, really bad if there's not a god
Of balance.
of anything. If one of the spots is empty, bad things happen.
Okay.
And the god of balance is the one who sort of keeps the rest of them focused and in check. I want to know where he is or what happened to him, and if these shard things are behind it, I want to find out about that before we put them back together. Because if we don't, our world might literally start tearing itself apart as the gods fight over it.
Right.
They have made a tentative truce for the moment.
Well, that's good of them.
The last time I checked.
Great.
So that is the long version of why I wanted you guys to maybe not do anything with it and keep it out of other people's hands. I was going to go talk to the kobolds to see if I could learn more about what we'd need to do, what these things are exactly, and what threw them out of their home. Because presumably they don't belong here.
Right.
So I would like to find and talk to your version of the fire thing to find out what he knows about all this. And potentially all work together to put these things back together if that's what needs to happen.
Well, if he hasn't abandoned his post, he'll probably still be back in town. Mal, we're gonna want to keep you probably,
Sorry, who's going to be back where?
the fire guy, the general, right?
No, definitely not. They're probably gonna hurry and head towards the earth.
Do you think? Do you think?
Well, that's the only.
I doubt they would go in by themselves. That was the reason they were bringing in an army in the first
Yeah.
place, is they don't think they could get through. Otherwise, they would have just gone.
Yep. The fights felt set up.
For sure.
We were being set up. You don't think that he knows not about you being who you are, but
We're all in the loop now.
we can't have it.
You finally found out.
Well, yeah.
Okay. Because I hadn't told Mal yet. So.
No.
Did I tell them?
Isn't it obvious?
Okay.
But do you think that maybe they knew and
Said the name.
Can
okay, we can discuss this while we try and find Volk.
I thought that's
this
what
is
we were
gonna be
doing.
Oh,
this
yeah.
is gonna be a little convoluted, but can I do a history check and kind of think of like a time in history where a strategy like this has been used,
A strategy like what?
where there have been several armies, but two armies have like got together at once that were not like. I'm trying to figure out like why this happened.
Why they would send
Why they
this
would
tiny human
send-
army and then have the kobold army help them fight the other. Yeah.
Yeah, that sort of thing. Like, it doesn't make sense to me, and I'm just trying to think if there's any a role that I can associate with to figure this out.
They don't seem to have gained anything from said
Yeah.
fight.
An idea
That's-
that Lars might have used in the
Yeah,
past.
something.
What was that, Danny? Sorry.
I also got a 21 while we're like talking and figuring to find Volk's tracks.
Okay, we'll come back to that.
The simultaneous thing, I reckon. Still gonna be kind of like blubbering in off to the side, isn't like, I'm trying not to.
Like, go through like my brain of like histories of like betrayals, histories
Okay.
of whatever,
With this
anything I
guy,
can think of to figure out how this strategically could help Lars and
You had the same
the
education as Lars.
dwarf using the fire dwarf or this fire general or whatever,
Okay.
how this
Why would they have set up this big fight
or
that happened, and what's the?
And I understand that it could also possibly be that I don't know.
I think it's a good question. I'm not sure
Yeah.
what anyone gained from all of that.
And I was wondering if there's maybe a role I can associate with to figure
Well,
out
that's what I'm
what
saying. Is like, unless
where
you
this
just
could
got really
strategically
messed up.
what strategy this could give to the opposing side.
Trying to decide how I want you to do this.
No, that's
I think Braden wants you to tell him to roll a history check.
no, you don't. That's one of the only That's the only non-charisma based one I have. But it's whatever you decide.
History would make sense.
Well, not necessarily.
If there is precedent for it.
If there's precedent for it,
Or it could be insight.
which
Alex.
So
It's okay, they're
roll
cute
me.
I love you. You're so cute.
Roll me a history check.
dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay.
Cute sounds.
And roll me an insight check.
17.
Wow.
Nice.
Look at you.
Okay.
I only have a +1 in insight, so I might get the skilled feat one day, but
Okay. So, thinking back over what you know of the history of the Empire, you know there were times early on when the first Empress was consolidating her power,
and was fighting other nations.
that she was fighting other nations. And there were times in those wars when multiple nations came together to oppose her.
Right.
On one occasion, she had actually
You took the long way around.
Yes, indeed.
I was over my
This is the scenic route.
Cord.
on one occasion, the battle began much as it did here, with the Imperial forces surrounded and apparently outnumbered. And much like here, one of the opposing forces was secretly an ally.
Okay.
They had been... The histories are a little... The official histories are a little...
Propaganded towards the Empire.
Right. But there are some writings that you've seen, some of the personal writings of that first Empress. You as a crown prince would have access to them, that reveal that she had promised to share some of her knowledge and power with her counterpart of that other kingdom. It was a lie, of course, and she always intended to betray him, but she promised him power.
Right. Okay. And with my insight, I don't think Lars was the one making so if you're saying that the Empress of Old was the one who was likely to betrayal, do I feel like that was Lars? Or does it feel like
That doesn't feel right.
Okay. So it's the firebender.
Firebender.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. That makes a lot more sense.
Zuko.
So
Yep.
so what I can gather is the firebender has promised Lars something, power, whatever, and in exchange to help take a large force of the earth kobolds out. Okay. Okay. Things are making a little more sense now. Okay. Thank you. That's all I needed.
Okay.
All right. Do we?
You looked like you were thinking something there, Nate.
I'm plotting Killian's death.
Well, that escalated quickly.
Oh, do we find Volk?
So with the 21, you follow the tracks of this sort of running battle between the fire kobolds and the stone kobolds. The fire kobolds are routed at this point. They're just fleeing for their lives. There are dead kobolds sort of littering the trail. Some of them are fire kobolds that have been taken down by rocks and stones. Some of them have fallen into pits and been buried. Some of them fell head first into pits that filled in around them and buried them alive. Some of them, both fire and stone kobolds, have weapon marks from Volk and have just been laid out where they were running. But you guys are able to follow that trail until it gets to the river. And at that point,
these guys too, Killian?
at that point,
I'm so tired right now that no.
the trail sort of disappears.
Okay.
I am gonna say a prayer over him. So the trail disappears.
Yeah,
Well,
it sort of ends at the
It
river.
crosses the river, so
Volk!
Wait. Can't you guys use your magic stuff?
We could have
I tapped out.
Or-
And
to
I'm
Volk?
we could have
I'm tapped out
Oh,
myself.
Wait,
Mizu.
wait,
Does
do
Mizu
you-
still have a sending?
Not to Volk. Oh, sorry. I mean, she hasn't used any magic, has she?
Oh.
Yeah,
She helped us with bless.
she's used
been
bless.
doing
But
do
I
you,
don't
do you
Bless,
have
that's right.
anything of Volk's?
No.
Do I?
Anything that he frequently used? Any?
I mean, he drank from my bottle pretty regularly.
How regularly?
Like every day.
So his
How
spit
often
would
do
be
you
on
drink
your-
from it?
Less than Volk does.
So his spit
That might
would be
work.
on it.
Let me see it.
He'll pull out one of his bottles, and it's empty currently.
So Killian's gonna pull out his other hummingbird. And the same thing. I want you to find the person who's been drinking out of this bottle.
Okay.
And, look at the hummingbird, like, did that work? And let him go, maybe.
So you let it go, and it sort of turns toward Mal
no,
for a second.
Other one.
And it sort of zips off across
There
the
you go.
river. And
It's like, man, I thought this was gonna be easy.
Easiest job ever.
She doesn't have another sending, so we would
No.
have to
Well-
have a rest.
It'll find him eventually and come back and tell us where he is.
He won't be there by the time it gets back.
Do we want to just camp here for the night?
I mean, if you're still planning on burying bodies, I can help.
I probably should.
So we're heading back to the 1500?
Or we could just start moving our way that way as we bury bodies.
I don't feel the need to bury these ones. I wasn't a part of their battle.
Okay.
Alright.
Don't ask me why I feel that way. I just do.
So I guess I'll start here, and you guys, I'll catch you up as I bury bodies.
Do you feel
In the
the
snow?
need to bury these ones?
I feel the need not to be there.
Maybe you should be at least somewhat close by. I mean, you don't have to come help, but
Maybe I should go find a Volk.
by yourself.
Yeah.
Because he's fighting an army on his own, and that's a good idea to go find him.
I mean, it's a bad idea for him to be fighting an army. on
Oh,
his own.
I'm not going to deny that, but it also seems like a bad idea for you and him to fight an army on your own.
I'm picking up really sketchy
I don't think I can go back there.
How far away from it do you need to be?
Out of sight.
Blindfold.
As long as you're... what if you stay out of sight but within hearing? So
like
need
your
you
logic.
or you need us, you're close enough?
I'll just be on the road
me.
So we're working our way back to the.
Well, I mean, we can keep chasing after him, but if my
We don't know where he
memory
is.
my memory serves, we're not always the best at tracking people, especially when they cross rivers.
True.
Have you had problems with that in the past?
Yeah.
Yes.
Although it might be a slight easier with in the snow, but
That's true. But my friend will find him, and then come back to us and let us know.
Hopefully that's fast.
And it won't stop. It doesn't have to stop to eat or sleep or anything. So
And after we rest, maybe Mizu can send for him and be able to
She's
actually
a
get in
cleric.
touch.
It's gonna be a long rest.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you guys start making your way back
I am
towards
gonna say
the.
a prayer for the downed kobolds as well.
Okay.
Who are
'Cause
you praying? Is it still Zoigan?
I don't even know at this point. Like, it is a
You're just praying.
prayer in general because
Okay.
I'm not totally sure how this is supposed to work, but it seems respectful, and I kind of figure that they don't have that much of a choice in the fact that they got shoved here either. So I kind of feel weird doing it for people that look like me and not for the little dragon things that don't.
And they're just trying to put their god back together or whatever.
Yeah. So while I might not be
kinda doing
attached
what you're
enough to
doing.
it to, huh?
They're kind of doing what you're doing.
I mean, yeah. There's a weird.
So you
reality to
guys-
that.
Not think that.
You guys make your way back up towards the main battlefield. The day is sort of drawing to a close. Since you've been gone, there are more carrion eaters around, more buzzards, more
I'm getting off the
crows,
road.
more of the land-based variety of critters. You guys do notice that the sight of all of that does seem to unnerve Mal a little bit. You guys make any of you that is proficient with insight can make an insight check.
not me.
Oh, there's nothing I can make alcohol.
That's
out
gonna
of
be
here.
a 23.
23.
Has that been tried?
Yeah, it's
I'm
right.
sure it has. I am positive it has been tried somewhere.
Anybody else? No? Nobody else?
What are you doing?
I will tell you what you noticed after the fact.
Okay.
At your approach, the nearest of the crows and the ravens and the vultures start to sort of fly up and flutter away and move further away from you guys. They're trying to keep their distance from you. They're not leaving because there is a great bounty for them.
Yeah.
So you will spend the rest of the day sort of praying over the dead, dealing with the bodies, burning them as needed, taking care of cleaning up what happened here.
I'll just be drinking in the woods.
I'm gonna
And
need it.
I'm the one.
I'm
who
gonna need a
gets-
con save from you.
Went
I have advantage.
downhill
Yeah.
Real fast the one time.
You're not wrong, and it was more than just the one time that people didn't see the other times. I kind of hold up like a
That's
crazy
20,
person for a little
unnatural.
bit.
Unnatural. Okay, so you're fine.
Also, you're not a dwarf who can handle his liquor really well. Apparently.
So you're used to your stuff. So you know how to get just to that edge of not caring without slipping over into blackout drunk. It's a fine line, even for a dwarf. So you guys spend the rest of the evening dealing with that, and as night comes on, you move off a little ways, set up your camp, and you kind of hear the sounds of all of that dealing with what you were not able to get to during the day.
Mizu's gonna do funeral rites for her retainers
Okay.
specifically. And,
You're able to find them and get them taken care of before anything gets to them, so that's nice.
And they can't become undead.
And they can't become undead, exactly.
I am once we get camp set up and all of that kind of stuff. I'm just gonna kind of go wherever Killian is and like make sure that I am close enough to have him in eyesight.
At all times.
Yes.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Like, I imagined 8,000 ways that you probably died terribly, and 8,000 other ways that you might have been taken over by some evil kind of something. She's not sure. She's nuts. Like, she wasn't sure what's happened. She's still not 100% sure that this is real. So she wants to keep eyes on you and make sure, which probably looks really strange to the rest of her weird little people that she drags along every day.
Killian will
Not
actually
really.
stay. He will stay a little ways, like far enough away from everybody else at the camp that there is distance, but he will stay within like the communal area, so everybody knows where he is. So
If
no
you
one
tried
thinks
to
he's
come in
running.
close, I was gonna say, no, you,
Yeah,
you
no,
over there.
he's. So,
He'll share drinks with
I'm tempted to burn your tent down.
Killian does not get out of tent.
I'm tempted to burn you down.
Killian just sort of finds a nice spot of ground and sits down and leans up against a tree and pulls his two swords out and lays them across his lap and then just sort of leans back.
Wake it with a tree on fire.
If you look like you're doing anything to him, I will stop you. I am still angry as
Just
hell
gonna
at him.
set a glass of water next to the fire until it warms up a little bit. Just dip his hand in it.
That I would find acceptable.
And I think that is a good spot to call it for the evening. So we will pick up
Killian wetting
here
his pants in the night.
after we come back next week. Thank you guys for joining us. Hope you had a good time. A little bit different, but I think that was a lot of fun. I think that ran fairly well. We do our sessions normally on Monday nights, 6 p.m. Mountain Time. It is up to you to figure out when that is for your particular time zone. We do occasionally have to shift things around. The best place to know if we're doing something like that is to check for any announcements on our Discord server. News and announcements, places to interact with us. You can share with us art. You can share with us poetry or prose or photographs. Anything creative. We're all for it over there. You can stick it onto the Discord server. You can also find news about Kyrie's creative streaming. She streams 2 or 3 times a week, I want to say. So all of the announcements of when she's going live, as well as when we're going live, will be found there on the Discord server.
There's also a podcast that I keep forgetting to tell people about, so I'm going to remember to tell people about it. I do a podcast that we are slowly releasing our first season as things are getting edited. It's called Art Liance, and it's me and Poe Studios and Aquatics Girl. We have fully filmed the first season, and we are about to start filming the second season, and we're going to start bringing guests in, and our first guestie will be Griffin. So I will drop a link into Discord, so check out the Discord if you want a link to the podcast channel. And we do artsy things. Usually I end up writing, sometimes I do visual. Just kind of depends on what strikes me. The other 2 are visual artists that are dabbling with other things too. So pretty much we pick up a prompt and do something creative about it, and we have a time limit and just see what comes up. So yeah, just a bunch of people doing arty things.
All right, so that is a plug for Arts Liance.
Art Liance.
Art Liance.
All
So,
one word.
so you can go onto YouTube and do a search for that, and should be able to find the episodes.
I will also link it in.
We'll also link it
Discord.
in the Discord as well. Since we're on the topic, that does bring up our YouTube channel. We've got that going. Easiest way to find it, because we don't have the custom URL yet, is just go out to YouTube and search for Casual Cactus. Casual with a C, Cactus with a K. You will find all of our back episodes, all of the video content that we do, including one-shots, other series, game boarding. I think we've done some VR a time or two as well. So fun stuff there. Check it out. Maybe adding some more stuff not related to D&D later. We'll see. I'm still playing with that. So go check that out. While you're there, do hit like and subscribe. Ring the little bell icon so that you always know what we've got going on. And get the notifications anytime we put any content up there. That's all I've got for the night. I hope everyone had a good time. Remember...
Grab your bats and grab your balls!
And if all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a glass house. Good night, everybody.
Good night.